And here we are in the new version of RogueTech here, which actually made me verify the entire install and like re-download part of the game to get it installed. I was kind of concerned that I wouldn't get it installed before we started the stream, but here we are. Fantastic. So what's new? Well, honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked at the changelog here. Let's see. It's been a little while, for sure. So I think it's probably this 1.0.4.9 version here, but it looks like they added a bunch of stuff. Oh, Necroman's Nightmare is back. Perfect. Those zombie units. Exciting. Well, I remember those from last year, for sure. And overall, changes to shot and projectile amount from the pulse laser, sure. But I did notice one change that I found very interesting here. If we hop into the engineering, there's this over here now. Drop information enables map preview in the contract details screen. I'm not sure how helpful that will actually be, but then there's also this one, enabling a weather preview as well. Now that one is actually pretty useful. This is very cheap. The weather monitoring is very expensive. So I think we're going to go ahead and grab the drop information, but we're not going to do that right now. Now, I've completely forgotten what we were working on. If we hop over into the barracks here, we can just go through these and see if anybody needs promotions. And actually, there are some that need to happen. So we can certainly get those done. Let's see here. A point of guts, fantastic. A point of guts, always good.
Mech warrior training complete.
And what else do we have? Another point of guts.
Training confirmed, Commander.
And that's it. Okay, cool. So, in our mech bay, everything is good to go except the Wolfhound. Now, there were very specific things we needed to get the Wolfhound good to go. And if I recall correctly, it was pretty much this double heatsink kit was what we needed. And an engine core 240. We have that right now, right? We have a 250, we have a 200. An engine core 240 would be very nice, and an XL engine would be good too. So that's definitely something that we can work towards. Our funds are below $1 million, so I think we should do something relatively simple right now to work our money up a little bit. Let's hop into the command center and see what's available. This should be all completely regenerated if we had any of these regenerated in the last time we ran this. It's a new version, so this should all be brand new. Okay. We're going to pass on the duo duel, for now anyway. Capture base, sure. I'm interested in potentially this capture base, but that is against Word of Blake, so that is spooky. What is this one? A destroy base against Word of Blake. I'd rather not go up against that many enemies if we can help it. This is starting to get pretty up there in the difficulty. I'd like to stick down over here. I think we'll go ahead and run this one. It is against Word of Blake, so there is a decent chance that there's a lot of enemies. But we just need to capture the base and hold it for the time being. Okay. Our salvage here is pretty mediocre across the board. We'll probably run right down the middle. And we're not going to be deploying this Hatchman, are we? No, we are not. Okay, the rest of this is all pretty decent. I wish that we had better weapons for our Magcat. If I recall correctly, these are pretty crappy. Oh yeah, we have the sniper artillery in there. I want to swap off of that eventually, but we're going to have to find better weapons for it. Let's go ahead and deploy this for now. Darius thinks we'll need more. He might be right, but he's probably not. Okay, let's go here. Hello, Sigmar. How are you doing today? So let's get this loaded on in here. Oh, there's a held message here. Let me go ahead and approve that. Why do you act so weird in intros and outros of your videos? It looks so cringy and makes me nuts. So will you continue to be like that? Yes, I will continue to be like that. That is the way my intros and outros are. Like when you respond weirdly to OBS starting and stuff. Yeah, I've mentioned that several times. I think that's funny. That's how my sense of humor works. I should absolutely restart a lot of those videos, but I usually don't, because I just find it amusing and entertaining. If you don't find it amusing and entertaining, well, you can skip the first 20 seconds or so. Okay, so let's get this loaded on in. The first load in RogueTech is always a bit of a long one, of course, but it shouldn't be too bad. Loading screen battle simulator. Yes, that is RogueTech. Capture the Blakest military facility is our goal. Commander, we're preparing a series of operations on Graham. However, before we can begin, we need a secure lodgement to bring military units and supplies down to the surface. We've identified a Blakest military facility that will be ideal for our purposes. We need you to land a strike force, capture the facility, and hold it until we can bring down our people to secure the location. Because this operation is covert and on an extremely tight schedule, you'll be inserting with no topographical intel. We're going to land in a hot AO with no idea where we are, capture a well-defended military facility, and hold it against a counterattack. What could go wrong? I try to skip it, but I forget after the ads. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, honestly, it doesn't happen that frequently. I usually get the stuff set up correctly beforehand. That only happens when I make a mistake, so... I hear a helicopter.
Reactor online. Sensors online.
That was
Weapons
interesting.
Online. All systems nominal.
Okay, well, let's go. Presumably there's going to be a helicopter.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, we're dropping in dark. This location seems like a good vantage point. You should be able to see the facility from there. You mean in the center of the facility, Sumire? Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, we can see the facility from there, I suppose. Okay, a huge sandstorm. Sure, so our visibility is going to be pretty low, but that means that their visibility is going to be low as well. We could land up here instead, but I actually think that I do want to land back this way. Make our way up over here. We can either try to batter our way through this and go in this way, or we can make our way all the way around. And that kind of depends on what they've got there. So we'll drop in over here. Cool. Okay, so what do they have? We immediately see quite a number of enemies. Boy, that's... The sandstorm is, much more intense now. Like, I can't see anything. Did they change the, settings for the fog back? Let's see here. It's under gameplay, I think. Or no, it's in the RogueTech settings, isn't it? Well, I guess we can't see anything.
Good to go.
Okay, now we can. Just needed to update the fog of war. That's good. So we can see that there's a Turin APC here. We see that there's a standard shredder turret. There's a heavy sniper turret. A heavy UAC turret. A sentinel off over here. Dragoon attack VTOL. Hunchback 4U variant. UAC 10. Okay. A chaparral over here. So that's a high priority target for our indirect fire. And a heavy APC.
Receiving you.
So our Hollander is immediately going to move in here, remaining in cover. And we can fire on that heavy sniper turret. Only 0.2% chance there. And I'm assuming this is because of the sandstorm. Like, if we look at this line of sight, that doesn't look so bad, but... Oh! Okay, they changed how the spawn protection works. Got it. So both sides now have a 99 spawn protection. That's actually huge. Okay, we can definitely make use of this.
Yes, Commander.
So our Jenner can immediately start moving up here. Do we lose the spawn protection on moving?
Double time.
Is that in here? That's a sandstorm. Cover, initiative, vision and sensors, and electronic warfare. So no. I'm not sure if we lose it on moving or if we lose it when the round ends. We'll see. So the Sentinel moves in, and in that case, nobody's going to fire. This is a big buff to players in RogueTech, actually, because now both sides get the protection again, as opposed to what it was previously, where only the AI got the spawn protection. And we kind of didn't. We got a brace at the beginning of the game, but that was it. So, yeah, the spawn protection here is fascinating to me, but... Now, this hasn't moved yet, so I don't actually know if it's lost its spawn protection yet. Or if it will lose its spawn protection. But this does mean a reservation at the beginning is no longer as good. So that's great. I actually really like that change. We're going to move up with our mongoose here. And now this Turhan will move, and we'll find out how that system works. It didn't fire, which I think means that it's got the normal spawn protection. Phase 12 here, let's move our Commando. We're going to move up over this direction.
I'll try.
Okay, so you do not lose the spawn protection upon moving. It must be on the round ending. Sounds good. So now there's basically no point in firing on round 1. Oh my. That was some sort of a spider leg quad mech. Haven't seen one of those before. Interesting. So our Mad Cat is going to step up here.
Copy that.
And we're going to drop artillery on this Chaparral. Even though our hit odds are going to be really bad, it's still worth doing. Hang on a moment. Sniper artillery cannon is not allowing us to fire here. Perhaps it can't be fired in the first turn? No, it can be fired here. Maybe it can't be fired... It can be fired indirect as well. Maybe they tweaked the range on it. Okay, we'll just brace for now. We'll see what happens next round.
Ready for orders.
We're going to move up with our Wolverine.
Going full
This is
speed.
definitely a big change to the first couple of rounds. Okay, so that Hunchback is just chilling back over here. Unless it has jump jets, it's not going to be useful for a very, very long time. We're going to sprint up with our add AC-20 ammo.
Roger.
And it seems like this is intended to now just be a movement round. The Chaparral was able to fire its artillery, but it missed badly there. Okay, yep, there we go. Spawn protection removed. Cool. Good to know. So the Hollander can now move up over here.
Consider me there.
I'm not going to fire at the Turhan, although it should die soon. I think we'll use our lights for that. And we're going to start working on these couple of turrets here. So we see a heavy sniper turret here with dual PPCs. I'm not as scared of that. I don't want this standard shredder turret to exist for too much longer. Missed 86%, sad.
Missed.
Well, that's okay. 86.2%, still miss. That's RogueTech. What are you going to do? So that Dragoon attack VTOL moves up. Fires on our Wolverine there. The Sandstorm is definitely a little bit obnoxious, but... I mean, it's... Considering this is supposed to be a covert attack, I guess it makes sense. So we're going to move up over to, like, here-ish. I don't love only having 3 evasive. Here's a 4 evasive. We're going to position here and hit the Turhan in its flank. Would we theoretically kill this thing? We could, I think. No. No, our max damage is 110. So we can't kill it. But we can soften it up a bit. Cool. That'll do for now. And what are they going to move in phase 15? Ah, that's that Scorpion up over there. ERPPC and SRM6. That's an interesting combination to have in that mech.
I'm here.
We're going to move our Commando up over this way, and we want to have as many evasive as we can. We could even theoretically think about meleeing this. What would the odds be on that? We could only charge. And 46%. So I don't think we do that. We just move up to here. I'm not going to fire the AoE Rocket 5 here, but I will fire the laser rifle. And we're just going to continue trying to hit this thing's flank. We'll move the tag on up. Okay, target acquired. Cool.
What's up, boss?
I like watching your videos. I just came to give input. I don't understand RogueTech at all, so I'll go watch your other videos. Fair enough. RogueTech is complicated. We're going to move up over to about here.
No problem. On my way.
And let's go ahead and hit this APC. There we go. With any luck, we'll get a kill, but I don't think we will. No, but we did get a lot of armor removed off of that APC. I like it. Is it just me, or is there a lot more, like, dirty detailing here now, too, on the UI? Where you've got, like, these... It almost looks like dirt smudges, but it definitely isn't. Here. They're on the reserve button. Did I just not notice them before, or are those new? I don't know. We're going to move up with our hatchetman, regardless.
Location confirmed.
Hit odds are actually best on the APC. So we're going to fire that. We missed. Not shocked. We definitely need to eliminate this standard shredder turret, and the chaparral tank there is a problem. That just did nothing. Quite literally nothing. Okay.
Commander.
Well, the ADC-20 ammo is going to move up.
Move into position.
81%. So obviously we fire at the standard shredder turret. I don't want that standard shredder turret to still exist. Would we be better off in short range targeting? No, we wouldn't. Not at this range. So let's go ahead and fire on the standard shredder turret.
Got it.
Nice. 130 damage to it. We are going to need to focus in on that.
Receiving you.
And our Wolverine will move on over.
Copy that.
Now the Wolverine could fire on the chaparral. The chaparral just moved though, and I kind of don't want to. We could fire a thumper at the standard shredder turret. But I don't think that's a great target for it. The Turhan APC is a terrible target for our artillery. The chaparral is, I think, still a good target here, or I think there's a better target. We could fire on the Dragoon in flak mode. Yes, I like this. Reasonable hit there, but it didn't actually do all that much damage. I'm not hugely shocked about that, but we just wanted to soften it up. That thing has a lot of armor for a VTOL. Ooh, they hit both large lasers on 4 evasive. That's a little sad. But it's okay for the moment. So Sentinel moves up over here. I believe there's only one Lance of Blakist defenders for right now, but there might be another one that spawns once we take the facility. So the Magcat Mark II is going to move up here. We could definitely fire on the Dragoon with the sniper artillery cannon. But I think that the way to go here is to eliminate this shredder turret. I'm not going to fire the sniper artillery because we're firing direct fire here. But otherwise, this looks good.
Firing.
We missed the large laser, which is kind of the whole reason we did that, which is unfortunate. That shredder is going to get a chance to fire here pretty soon. Ow! And there's that shredder firing. Well, okay. Direct fire on that as well. That's okay for now. That shredder is much less okay. Sniper turret firing on the Wolverine is okay for the moment. So, to be clear, we didn't really have anything in this arm. So we got kind of lucky with where that ended up hitting.
Standing by.
The Mongoose is going to head over here. What side of this Turhan do we want to hit? It is facing this direction. So we want to hit it on the right side or the front, which is not here. We want to come around over onto this side.
Roger.
And let's see if we finish off the Turhan here. This will overheat us a little bit. I'm going to not fire this medium heavy laser.
Firing.
That did not go well. But that's okay. We did get a hit in there. Phase 16, what are they going to move? The Dragoon. Okay, so they're hitting the ADC-20 ammo pretty hard there,
I'm showing minor damage.
but that's okay.
Yes.
For the time being, the Hollander is going to move up to here.
Got it.
I want to eliminate that standard shredder turret. We'll do 80 damage, The only way we kill it here is if we get a crit, which is unlikely with a Gauss, but we'll see.
Firing full complement.
We'll break through the armor regardless, as expected.
What?
Now, I'm going to take the Commando off over here.
Affirmative.
Oh, apparently that scouted it. Okay. Sure. Turret's powering up. Yep, and there's Blakus defenders. We know that. We're going to hit the standard Shredder turret here and look for a kill on it. Ooh, that was so close.
Maybe things are looking up.
That was so close, but it wasn't a kill, so that actually wastes one of our mech's turns. Unfortunate. I was hoping for the crits there to come through. But we're going to make our Jenner come around over here-ish. It's rear arc, which isn't ideal, but it'll do.
Aye, aye.
We're going to have a heat issue here, but we'll go ahead and fire this. Ooh, that's a destroyed vehicle. Fantastic.
Target eliminated.
Okay, so we need to eliminate these turrets. Those are definitely something that need to go away. We're going to move up with the add AC-20 ammo here.
On my way.
And do we kill the standard Shredder turret, or do we fire at the Dragoon? Neither, I think. We simply brace it. And the reason for that is this is a little bit exposed. Okay, here comes the Chaparral, which did not fire. Interesting choice.
Waiting for orders.
The Hatchetman is going to make its way over... I'm thinking about these two mechs over here. They're flanking around this direction. So I'm going to take the Hatchetman out over here.
Let's move.
Okay. Phase 12. They have one more mover. And that's that Scorpion. Cool.
Ready for orders.
So the Wolverine is going to move over here. Just to get some stability back. And then we're going to fire in flak mode at this Dragoon. Again.
Roger that.
The idea behind that is that does some splash damage over here. We're looking for crits there. The Hunchback did nothing.
Yep.
The Madcat Mark II is going to fire on the Dragoon, once again, in flak mode. We're not going to fire the ER large laser. And I'm going to not fire the LRM-5 either to sink some heat. If this doesn't kill the turret here, we could have problems. It did kill the turret. Okay, good. So they're firing their sniper artillery at the Madcat Mark II. That's fine.
I'm under heavy fire here.
We're not concerned about that.
Mess him up.
'Kay.
Good.
So that's that sniper turret there, and then there's the heavy UAC turret out over here. And of course this heavy AC turret that's out of range, or out of LOS
Standing
even,
by.
and can't really do anything. So we're going to position our Hollander here,
Affirmative.
and the Hollander is going to start chunking down the armor on this heavy sniper turret. Now it's definitely not going to break the armor,
Firing.
but that'll be a decent hit. It did actually take out a double heat sink, and took out half of the armor, so that looks good.
Commander.
The Wolverine, at this point... Do we keep hitting that Dragoon? Actually, the Dragoon is getting really low on its armor. Let's do it.
Target confirmed.
Okay. So we need to focus on this heavy sniper turret with our lights. I think that's pretty obvious. And the Dragoon moves out over this direction, goes for the Madcat. The Madcat's okay for the moment,
My armor smells.
but it is unsteady for right now. Now, the Mongoose is going to come out over here. I do not want to get an LOS of this turret, but this is fine. So we're going to position it. Do we sprint closer? Yes. We're going to put it here. And I'm a little concerned about this heat level. But we could simply fire this. If we hit both of them, it has no armor left. And there we go. No armor. Beautiful.
This heat is cooking my internal
Okay,
structure.
the Hunchback 4U is heading over here. For a moment, I thought it was a Dragoon mech. It does actually look a lot like a Dragoon mech, doesn't it? Like, it's a mech, but it's also a Dragoon from StarCraft 1.
What do you need?
Well, the add AC-20 ammo could engage out over here. 46%, but we can buff that a little bit by switching over to short-range variable targeting.
Position
And I think that's not a terrible concept. This Dragoon doesn't have much left, and if we hit this with an AC-20, it basically dies. Almost no matter where we hit it, unless we hit it here. There we go. Cool. Hello, Shadow Wolf.
Mech destroyed.
Well, that wasn't a mech, that was a helicopter, but okay. Okay, so that Scorpion is definitely heading over here to flank. This is a decent artillery target at this point.
Hey.
I want to take the Commando out over here. Because we want to continue hitting this heavy sniper turret, there's a decent chance that we kill it here. So we're going to do that.
All right.
Solid crits there,
But that hurt.
but no turret destruction just yet. Okay. So that Sentinel is running over this direction. Going for the add AC-20 ammo there and getting a pretty solid hit in.
I'm taking internal damage.
Are you, though? Yes. Yes, you are. Just wanted to double check that. So the Jenner is going to make its way up over here. And it's also got some heat issues, but it will just fire its single medium heavy laser and its medium laser. Okay. That heavy sniper turret is not gone
I
yet.
think I hit something good.
We definitely need some crit fishing in our lights. That's pretty clear to me.
Receiving
But
you.
I'm going to send the Hatcheman around over here. And it can hang out around here.
Hauling ass.
So its mission is to fight this Scorpion. And let's see how well it can do that. This is a small overheat, but I think that's okay for the time being.
Affirmative.
Sad that we missed the snub nose, but got some damage in on the Scorpion. Okay, phase 10, they just did nothing.
Aye, aye.
The Magcat Mark II is definitely going to get its steadiness back. And then we're going to drop our artillery on this Chaparral, which may splash damage kill this sniper turret. Assuming we can. Yes, we can. Consider it done.
Attacking from position.
Okay, it didn't take out the sniper turret,
I'm
which is
under
sad.
Fire.
And it hit
Can't
off
take
over
much
here,
more
which
of
ended
this.
up hitting some of our lights, which is funny. But they're going for the Wolverine. Looks okay for now.
I can't take much more of this.
They just chose not to fire with their heavy sniper turret. Didn't they? No, they fired at the Wolverine. What am I talking about?
Order.
Okay, so the Mongoose is, I think, going to look to fire on the heavy sniper turret and eliminate it once and for all. I'm just going to fire the small heavy laser and the small laser. I don't think we need more than that.
Target confirmed.
And sink that heat. Cool.
That turret is.
There we go. So we've still got this heavy AC turret, and we've got this heavy UAC turret here. Okay. Have I ever played Halo? I'm not generally too into FPSs.
Let's do this.
We can take our Hollander up over this direction-ish. I was hoping we'd see an LOS on this guy. But sadly, we don't.
Let's move.
So we'll position the Hollander here for the time being.
Yes, Commander.
The add AC-20 ammo definitely wants to try to protect its left side here. So we'll position like so.
Confirmed.
And I'm going to Vigilance it as well. We'll fire on the Sentinel here. Odds are not the best, but it's still an okay shot to take.
Silent.
Oh, we hit with both. That's great. Very, very good. Right in that torso, too. I like it.
Standing by.
So, we need to figure out what we want our lights to do here. We could go after the heavy AC turret back here. Or we could bring them around to help engage this. And I think that is what we want to do.
Receiving you.
These lights could die to those
Affirmative.
turrets. So,
Yes,
it's a possibility. They could die to those turrets fairly easily.
Two locations.
It's a bit unlikely, I think, but
Standing by.
it's something we need to think about. So we're going to move in with our Hatcheman here and continue to close in on this
Copy
Scorpion. I think I'm not going to fire this machine gun on X6 mode. I'm not going to fire the snub nose either. I'm going to not fire the machine gun at all. We're just going to pot shot the pulse lasers here as we continue to close in on the
Roger.
Scorpion. little bit more damage there.
Standing by.
Okay. So the Wolverine, what do we want to shoot at with the Wolverine? The Chaparral, but I think that we could start chipping down these AC turrets in terms of their armor with our artillery. Only in range of the LRM-10. Oh, we're in flak mode. Let's go into artillery mode. 23% on that Hunchy. I don't want to fire on the Chaparral because of our lights right over here. So 26% on this heavy UAC turret and 26 on the heavy AC turret. We'll go ahead and fire that. But artillery on this is not necessarily the most efficient thing. That Hunchy is useless here, and we're just ignoring it for the time being. It can't get to us. It'll have to go around. The Sentinel moves over, goes for the Hollander.
My armor's getting stripped off.
What just happened? No, seriously, what just happened here? So the Scorpion moves up and goes for the add AC-20 ammo. For the moment, it's okay.
Reporting internal damage.
What was hit here? It hit something right here. The Dragoon attack VTOL is apparently there. That feels like a bug. Okay. So, sure.
I'm here.
I guess that's something that's happening. We're going to continue to drop artillery out on this heavy AC turret for the moment. This will need to be in... This doesn't have an artillery mode? Interesting. So that's definitely a change that they've made to the sniper artillery cannon. Definitely a change. We're going to step forward here.
Understood.
And is this in range? I don't believe so. Since we have... Or now it is. Okay, great. We can do this. 62 damage to that armor. I like it. And a little bit of missile damage as well.
I'm picking up a new
Okay.
sensor tray.
I'm not surprised that they have reinforcements coming in. I'm a little saddened that they're right here. Goblin ISV, a von Luckner, Ontos, Scorpion, MTR Carrier, and a Royal Burke. Those are some reasonably powerful vehicles. Well, that's an artillery target for us, for sure, but they should be spawn protected. So we're going to take the add AC-20 ammo up over here. I definitely want to hit this Scorpion in its rear arc, if we can. We can. We can kick it in the rear arc here with good odds. Do it.
Move into position.
So we head over. Structure exposure. Okay.
Reporting critical hit.
That's a leg destruction on that Scorpion and a knockdown. I didn't expect a single leg destruction to knock down a quad, but okay, I guess he's underground now. Exciting stuff.
Orders.
So our Jenner is absolutely going to come over here and engage the Sentinel.
No shooting. Just
I want nothing to do with those vehicles with our lights at this exact moment. So we're going to hit this Sentinel as hard as we can here. And that was pretty hard, actually. Cool.
Aye, aye.
Okay, so our Mongoose is going to be a little bit problematic for the moment. We're going to move it up over here with 5
Aye,
evasive.
copy.
And continue to fire on this Sentinel, but we're a ways away.
Fire.
Good hits regardless. But this was why I didn't really want to go up against Word of Blake.
Standing by.
Now the Hollander could definitely move in here. And go for like a rear arc punch on the Sentinel. I don't hate that.
Roger that.
Let's do it.
Locked on for physical
We
attack.
missed the punch, unfortunately. And we missed the Gauss. But that's okay. That Sentinel will be dealt with soon enough. The Wolverine is absolutely going to turn and head over this way.
coordinates.
We need to drop artillery right on this Ontos. Maximum splash damage right now is the name of the game.
On it.
decent-ish splash damage there. Phase 17, the Scorpion gets up, and it's going to go for the Hollander here. I can almost guarantee that. Actually, it walks away and goes for the AC-20 ammo.
My internals are
Okay.
taking a beating.
That's actually not the worst thing. When is our Mad Cat going to move? We'll find that out in a moment. So this Sentinel can easily be taken care of by our lights. That's for sure.
Commander?
The Hatchetman is going to make its way up over this direction. I'd like to find a better line of sight than this. Sadly, one doesn't really exist. But these are still decent hit odds. Okay. Yeah, I don't love this.
Taking the shot.
But it'll do.
Systems holding.
Okay. So the Hunchy is irrelevant. We're ignoring the Hunchy for now. He can't get to us.
Standing by.
The Freeman is going to walk in over here, and honestly, front arc is the way to go on this. Unfortunately, our Freeman is going to have very little in terms of evasive if we do that. So I'm actually going to go for the rear arc on the Sentinel, even though it has more armor.
Locking in target.
AC-5 ammo explosion there and a left torso
Critical hit,
destruction.
Commander.
Taking heavy hits, Commander.
No pilot ejection, sadly. So they're going to make a move here. That's going to be the Scorpion. The Scorpion isn't tremendously scary. Okay, and it stayed fairly together there.
Aye, aye.
The Mad Cat Mark II is going to step over here,
Confirmed.
and we're absolutely still firing on the Ontos with our sniper artillery. 100%. Yes, our hit odds are very low. We don't have to hit. All we're looking to do is get splash damage in here, and that's what we got. Cool. So they're going to be funneled into this pass here. That Goblin moves up and doesn't do anything for the moment. Okay. The Von Luckner moves up,
Hey,
fires
what's the
on
play?
the Mongoose, and gets quite a lot of hits there for 5 evasive. That's unfortunate. The Royal Burke moves back a bit, so it's not going to be in the splash damage, but it also doesn't fire, so I like that. Let's see what this MTR and Ontis do.
I can't take much more of this.
You didn't take any of that. It hit this vehicle here. Again, I think that's a bug. So they're firing on the Hollander here, dropping a bunch of Inferno in there. That's unfortunate, but
Damage
it is what it
fine,
is.
Commander.
It won't do a lot of damage, but... Okay, and that turret firing on our Wolverine.
Reporting.
We need to get out of LOS of that turret. That's very clear. Okay, next round.
Receiving.
Our Hollander is going to step over here. I'm not worried right now about this Sentinel. That said, the Sentinel is where the hit odds are. Let's do it.
On it.
And we missed. And took down this structure, meaning that the Hunchback can get to us. Oh no. That was really bad. That was really, 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 really bad. This heavy AC turret can now fire in this line of sight as well. That was the worst stray shot I have ever seen.
How's it going?
Okay. Well, apparently there's a dropship inbound here. But our Hatchetman is going to move up to here. And we're going to fire on the Scorpion. We just don't have the heat to do too much here.
Locking up.
Okay.
This heat is cooking my internal structure.
Well, our add AC-20 ammo can definitely get in behind this Scorpion and get another kickoff. This will likely kill the Scorpion, I think.
Location
Let's see.
confirmed. Locked on for physical attack.
That was a melee success. Okay.
Target's taken a critical.
And a pilot ejection. Well, there's that gone anyway.
I'm here.
The Magcat Mark II needs to continue to drop artillery out over here. The Ontos is, I think, still the best target here. So we're going to continue to armor strip this.
Aye, aye. Engaging target.
A good amount of damage there.
Commander.
And the Jenner, at this point, needs to come in behind the Sentinel and finish it off. Unfortunately, we're not going to have the most evasive here. And that's just the way it is.
Move order received. Engage.
So we have to hit the Sentinel. And the Sentinel is dead. Unfortunately, we have 3 more enemies now that this wall is gone.
Right here.
So the Commando basically has to go in here and engage the Hunchy. We do have rear arc on it. So that's nice. And we can AoE Rocket 5 it, but we'll probably hit ourselves with that a bit. But we can try it, and hopefully we manage to get through his rear armor and just get a kill on this Hunchback. That would be ideal. That spread out all over. No focus whatsoever on that damage. But we did get a structure exposure then.
My armor's getting blown apart.
So next up, our Mongoose is going to make its way in here.
No shooting.
I'm going to
just
Vigilance it to get rid of all that unsteady, and we're going to fire on that Hunchy. This will overheat. What are our odds of shutdown? I think they're okay. I'd really like to kill this Hunchback.
I copy. Target's taking a critical hit.
And we
Reporting.
did
Over.
fail the shutdown override. And we didn't even kill the Hunchback. Okay. Oof. Good morning, Dealanok. Okay, so we need to get our Wolverine out over this direction-ish. Unfortunately, we're still going to be an LOS of this heavy AC turret since that stray shot took that down. But we're definitely going to need to continue to strip armor off of these vehicles. This is our only hope right now of dealing with these vehicles, for the moment. But this is going to really start to hurt. Like, this is going to get very bad. That Scorpion backs off and sensor locks our Hollander. The Hunchy moves over. He's going to go for the Mongoose. Yeah.
Oh, that really hurts.
Yeah, you should eject, buddy. Because you failed that roll, you need to eject.
I'm hit.
Unfortunately, he didn't. The Chaparral did nothing, which is nice. But the Mongoose, we lost a heavy laser there. It's not the end of the world, but if we get the opportunity, we need to eject him. I'm not sure we'll get that chance. The odds on that shutdown were actually really low. It was very unfortunate that that happened.
Light damage, Commander.
Because we rolled a 100 plus 15 and had to roll under a 30, which meant that we had a 15% chance of that shutdown happening, and it happened. Sad. The Von Luckner backs off and goes for the Mongoose. I'm not shocked about that. I'm shocked that we're still alive.
Damage minimal.
But for the moment, it's okay. Von Cobra really needs to eject. But we'll see if he gets around to it. That Ontos moves up and goes for the Jenner and hits 2 out of 3 of those Gauss rifles.
Okay,
That's unfortunate.
That was really bad.
But we only had the 1 evasive, so that's not super shocking. Like I said, this is where it starts to hurt. Okay. Well, so much for evasive on our Jenner.
Internal damage.
Oh,
Battle mech. Down.
okay. That's a questionable punch out there, for sure. Like, the mongoose should have punched out before this engine destruction, for sure. But I'm not shocked about that engine destruction. And realistically, these vehicles are going to be very difficult for us to deal with. We already knew that. We're going to move the Hollander up over here and vigilance it. And we need to start trying to punch through some of this armor, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Yeah, we do miss that. I'm not shocked.
Missed.
Indeed. So next up is going to be our hatchetman. The hatchetman can't really do too much. So it's going to sprint over here and sink its heat.
I'm here.
The add AC-20 ammo is going to come over here as well
On it.
and brace. And we'll just see what they do. There's just so many, like, high-level vehicles there. He's firing on our Commando. And unfortunately, 2 of our lights are now out of the picture. So we're going to have a much, much harder time dealing with various things. The Wolverine is going to continue to back off over this way. We're going to drop our artillery. At this time, I think the MTR carrier is the way to go.
Firing on
So we're
target.
continuing to get a lot of value out of our artillery over here. That's our saving grace right now. It's going to be a
Yes, Commander.
pretty tough fight, though. There's no doubt about that. We're going to move the Freeman in over here,
Moving to position.
and we're going to hit this Hunchy in the rear arc, and hopefully we actually get around to killing him.
Targeting rear armor.
We did not.
Critical hit, Commander.
We are getting incredibly awkward luck. So close to that Hunchy being dead. But sadly, it's not dead yet. We're going to use our Magcat Mark II here to drop artillery once again on this MTR carrier. That's out of range of our sniper artillery, so we're actually going to fire it instead on the Goblin ISV. It doesn't actually matter where it lands, as long as it lands somewhere in that cluster.
I'm taking the shot.
That's pretty awkward, but it did trigger their AMS, so there's that. Okay, we'll see what that Chaparral does, but it's just been sitting there doing nothing. I'm very concerned about these turrets. For sure. Very, very concerned about that. The other question is, how do we approach this? How indeed?
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
I think the answer is we don't. Yeah, that has to be the answer here. So the Goblin ISV moves up. It's now the obvious target for our single target weapons fire. Okay, that Ontos moves up and goes for the add AC-20 ammo. Ow! It hit everything there. Destroyed our AC-20, so there's that. I think we have a backup AC-20, though. We should be able to get one fairly easily, regardless. So the MTR carrier there moves through the fire. Fires on our Madcap Mark II. This is okay. The heat is going to be slightly problematic, but...
Damage minimal. Watch those heat levels.
okay. They hit a lot of those on the Freeman for how invisible the Commando is. We're getting some really, really awkward luck here. So the Hollander's going to move over to here. We're going to vigilance it. We can go after this heavy AC turret. We can go after the Von Luckner or the Ontos. The heavy AC turret is basically the only thing with any hit odds here. So we'll take that. Okay.
Waiting for
At this
orders.
point, the Wolverine absolutely has to continue firing on this Ontos. There is no option here. Okay, that's a mediocre hit, but we're doing a lot of armor damage to those. So that's good. But this is going to be challenging, no doubt about it. The Hatcheman is going to sprint its way up over here. We're trying to provide a new target. And we could fire our Snubnose PPC out over here. How much heat does that generate again? Yeah, I think we're not going to for the moment. By backup AC-10, do you mean back at the workshop? Well, it's an AC-20, and yes. Yes, back at the workshop. That is correct. So the add AC-20 ammo definitely needs to head up this way. There's no doubt about that.
Standing by.
At this point, the Commando has to Vigilance and then sprint as far as it can up over here and start hitting these turrets and just working on evasion tanking. But do we go for the small military building here instead? It used to be that if you took this out, that would destroy the turret, but I believe they simply take fall damage now. So I think you're better off attacking the actual turret. This is still the building. There we go. That's the actual turret there. But that's a lot of armor. We'll chunk through it a little bit, but it's going to take a while. This Hunchi is pretty damaged. Okay, that's not the best place for a Hunchi. And this vehicle moves up, fires on the Mad Cat. It did manage to hit the Von Luckner there. I like that. But their vehicles are beginning to advance. The Chaparral moved out over here, but did not fire. So the Mad Cat definitely needs to position out over here. We've got some heat issues brewing up here, and we may need to take a round off of firing. Yes, we do have to take a round off of firing. So we'll brace the Mad Cat Mark II for now.
My heat sinks can't take much more of this.
And let's see what else these guys decide to do. The Royal Burke moves up and sensor locks the Mad Cat Mark II. Then fires on the Hatchetman. That is what I had hoped. It actually stray shots the Von Luckner over here, which I'm okay with. Or actually, that's a Goblin. Okay. The Von Luckner moves over to here. Manages to fire on the Hollander a little bit.
Systems holding.
Okay, there we go. So next up is the Ontos. It moves up a little. Shoots at the Hatcheman, gets 2 light Gauss hits. Sad. I keep hoping that they're going to get some solid stray shot over here, but it's not happening as of right now. So the Goblin moves over and does nothing, but it stacks together with all of these guys. So this is still a good artillery target. We'll see what the MTR here does. Its armor is definitely dropping. Okay. That's fine for the moment. That's less fine, of course. But not too much that we can do about that right now. Man! 4 evasive pips, all that stealth armor, and they hit 4 times out of 4. That's insane. That is absolutely insane that they're hitting that much. Okay, well, the Hollander definitely needs to try to make its way up over here. Like, if we can break this LOS, that would be amazing. We kind of can. We can position here, and then we can fire either on the heavy UAC turret or on the rear arc of the Hunchi, but that's only 46%. So we're going to hit the heavy UAC turret here and do 80 damage to that. Okay.
Yes,
Next up is our Commando. The Commando has no choice here but to sprint as far as it can, which is over here, 4 evasive, and hit the heavy AC turret. It has no other option. It must do this.
Roger that.
So there's some damage on that heavy AC turret. Okay. The Hunchi makes its way out over here, shoots at our Hatchetman, and gets a structure exposure in the CT. For the moment, that's okay, but it's not going to remain okay for long. That Hatchetman is going to have to retreat back over here, I think. The Scorpion actually backs off and fires on the Hatchetman. I was hoping it would stray shot the Hunchi. It one hit in that Hunchi rear arc, and the Hunchi dies.
Yes, Commander.
We could retreat the Hatchetman, or we could get aggressive with the Hunchback and hope that they stray shot the rear arc of the Hunchi. That would be the riskier play, whereas retreating here would be the smarter play. And we're going to retreat. We're going to pull the Hunchy back this way.
Confirmed.
Okay. I don't want them to have too many targets up over here.
Orders.
So the AD AC-20 ammo is making its way up here to try to finish off this heavy UAC turret eventually. But it doesn't have its AC-20, so that's going to be complicated. The Chaparral moves over and fires on the Hollander there with its medium laser.
Losing armor.
It's not a big deal, but... Oh, it actually charged. Never mind, that is a big deal. Okay, this is going very poorly. This is where the Gauss rifle is, and we cannot replace that.
Yes, Commander.
And there's nothing we can do about this. So, RogueTech has decided, screw you, is what's happening here.
Affirmative.
Like, there's so much that has gone wrong here that is out of our control. That's just,
Watch my
we
heat
rolled poorly. That's all there is to it. We did break through the armor on that Scorpion, so that's something. The Burke defense tank backs off. The Goblin moves up. Okay. This would have gone so much better if the Hollander hadn't a stray shot here. Oh, that's a structure exposure on the Wolverine too? Yikes.
Internal structure damage.
We need to check to see where that is. I didn't expect to have a structure exposure here. Yeah, it's just that they're hitting here much more frequently. And what's in this arm? That's the LRM-10 and a heatsink. Nothing too major. But the Mad Cat can position out over here.
On my way.
And at this point, these guys are a little spread out. I'm going to hit the Scorpion here because we have a good chance of actually destroying it. That was a terrible shot.
Watch those heat levels.
Absolutely abysmal. I love it. Okay, so what now? The Von Luckner moves up, goes for the Hollander. There's literally nothing we can do about this.
Something important.
Please eject.
just got hit.
Please eject. This guy needs to eject. But he's not ejecting currently. So the Ontos moves over and fires on the Wolverine.
Ow.
Gives a head hit. That's,
Armor blows
like I
through.
said, this is really
Battle
awkward.
damage.
We're getting, like, the most awkward luck.
Battle mech.
Okay,
down.
engine and Gauss rifle destruction. Okay, well, this mission is just going from bad to worse.
Standing by.
So the Hatcheman needs to make its way up over this way
On my way.
at this point. Honestly, when we saw what dropped in here, I probably should have withdrawn at that point in reality, but I didn't. So here we are. The Hunchy moves up, goes for the Wolverine, doesn't hit anything there. Okay. Well, we have very little left. The Commando at this point is still needing to get 4 evasive and go after this heavy AC turret. We have to eliminate this. It surprises me that you can't order them to eject. You can. You can order them to eject, but only when you can move them. So we haven't had a chance to order these guys over here to eject, unfortunately. So when you can move them, you can order them to eject with this button here. But when you can't order, or when you can't move them, you just can't respond to it. There's just nothing you can do. Okay, so we destroyed that turret, finally.
I got him.
So that's something.
I'm melting in.
But yeah, losing the Hollander is actually not that painful. The Hollander was kind of getting outscaled, to be honest.
Good to go.
So I'm not too upset about that one. We're going to move the Wolverine down over here. And these vehicles flanking in here are definitely a bit of a concern. So the question is, what can we do to them? The answer is almost nothing. I'm going to hit the MTR carrier here, but this is starting to look like a we need to eject everyone situation.
Acknowledged.
Like, this is starting to enter worst-case scenario situations.
The heat is frying my internals.
So the AD-AC-20 ammo here, it can move up to here, but if we do that, the heavy UAC turret, if it's alive, will destroy our AD-AC-20 ammo. So I'm not going to do that this round.
Roger that. Digging in.
The Magcat Mark II is going to fire out at the MTR as well. We need to do as much splash damage as we can, but now that these vehicles... Oh, we don't actually have the range for that. Now that these vehicles are starting to get a little closer in here, they're starting to actually move in, the danger level is increasing dramatically. So we destroyed the Scorpion there.
Tango
That's
down.
one thing. There are 5 more. The MTR and the Royal Burke are a little lower on their armor for sure, but that Von Luckner moves up and goes for the Wolverine.
Damn it.
That's what I was afraid of. So the Wolverine's going to get knocked down here. No, it didn't, actually. Okay, so the Goblin and the Ontos are going to move up. I think we're in we need to eject everyone territory. Things have gone poorly enough. And the thing is, they shouldn't have. The odds were in our favor on this, but we rolled incredibly poorly. So I think we do need to eject everyone and just fail this mission. I think there's no path to victory here.
My mech.
Eject? Yes. That eject was good. We wanted that. Wow, he hit so many times there. So many times that they hit that commando on 4 evasive with it fully invisible. I don't get it. We're rolling incredibly badly. I'm going to just eject everyone that we get the opportunity to. At this point, it's over. There is no pathway to victory here, and it's just going to get worse from here on out. So we rolled very, 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 very badly. There's no doubt about that. And it was just one bad roll too many. We are out of here. So they're going to hit the Magcat Mark II. That's fine. The Magcat Mark II is okay. But we're going to... This was absolutely very, very painful to our equipment situation. There's no doubt about that. But when they spawn with that many powerful vehicles right on our flank like that, and then we have the stray shot that opens up this wall and allows all of these to fight us as well, that's just one thing too many.
Aye, aye.
So we gotta go. It was a valiant
All
effort,
units destroyed.
but we're out of here. Are you able to recover the ejected from hardware from a lost battle? Yes. We're able to do that, but we lose everything in the cockpit. That all gets destroyed. So yeah, we get a lot back there, but we took a lot of damage, and we kind of don't have the funds to put this back together. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. It was a lot of damage and a lot of equipment loss. But ultimately, that was just, we rolled very poorly. We're going to have to choose some safer missions for a while here. And we'll see what we get put together here. So they're wanting these parts. Hang on a moment. Hollander part? The Hollander was fully destroyed then. Okay. We'll accept it for now. And we got no salvage out of it because we lost the mission. There's absolutely nothing that we could have done there, I think. We just rolled too poorly. I don't think that I played that wrong. I think I played it broadly correctly. There were a few mistakes with LOS with the UAC turrets, but I think I played it broadly correctly, and overall, we just rolled very, very, very badly. I think that's what that boils down to. I wouldn't have changed how I played that too much if I had to do it over again. So yeah, I think that's overall, it is what it is. We just rolled very poorly. If we hadn't have had the 15% shutdown roll with the Mongoose, if we hadn't have had the 14% roll on the wall that brought down the wall, if we hadn't have rolled the ridiculous reinforcements, perhaps you should consider sacrificing a space goat to RNGesus. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, the Hollander was destroyed. The Mongoose was also destroyed. Okay. Well, that's not the biggest of losses. Go ahead and get started on that, Yang, but this is going to be really hard to put back together. This might actually be the end of this. Let's see. We have a financial report in 11 days. We can get a couple of mechs put back together, but they're going to require further work. Yeah, honestly, I didn't expect that to go anywhere near that poorly. That was incredibly, incredibly bad luck. Let's hop into the mech bay here. What else can we do? We've got the Thumper self-propelled guns here. We can scrap that for some cash. We've got the Unknown here that we can scrap for cash too. We'll probably not run into that again. That's a good chunk of cash. And then there's these pink hashes, meaning that they are primitive. So we're going to get rid of all of the primitives here. But this is kind of a desperation move at this point. Getting rid of, well, the mediums isn't so bad, but getting rid of some of those heavy parts, that's a bit desperation-y, for sure. But there we go. So we've got some cash. Let's tick on forward, and we're going to try to rebuild. But that was rough. There's no doubt about that. We cannot afford to do another Argo upgrade. That's for sure. Okay. Analyze the natural remedy. Cool. Majestic is in low spirits, but that's fine. So, the question is, what kind of weaponry do we have to put back on at this point? It's going to be spicy. There's no doubt about that. So, we have a number of mechs that are finished up, but they're not actually finished up. They're all going to need internal work. So, we're going to work on the Freeman here. Man, we lost the Gyro XL. We lost so much. We lost so much there. All because we just couldn't dodge with the Freeman here. Okay, so all of this comes off. Okay. So that was an Engine Core 170. We should be able to replace that. Yeah. Engine Core 170. Emergency coolant system I'm not too concerned about. Gyro XL, endosteel structure, 2 heat sinks. That's not too bad. SRM-6. Sure. We should be able to replace that, no problem. Yeah, SRM-6 Holly here. So we're 1.5 tons overweight. We lost an endosteel structure and a Gyro XL. We could... How are we going to save a ton and a half? Well... we don't actually need this heatsink unless it is required. It is required. What else can we do? We could drop the tag and the ER small laser, but that's a pretty solid downgrade. What would it look like if we were to drop down to an Engine Core 160 instead? Our movement is currently 7 and 10. If we did this, it would drop to 6 and 10. We're sprinting most of the time. I feel like that's okay, but we didn't actually save any weight from that. That's odd. It's like a 145? No. Even that's not enough. And that's 6 and 9. That's definitely missing out on 1 hex of movement. Okay. We still need to carve off half a ton as well. We don't have an endosteel structure to replace it with, sadly. We could put in an Engine XL, but that's wasted here. And very expensive. So, further options. I mean, a gyro defense could help make up for that with the max evasion. That's not a terrible call. And then we could drop the ER small laser and have less damage. It's a downgrade, but it gets the mech back ready for battle. We need 1 more heatsink. Let's toss that in over here. There we go. That gets the mech ready for battle, at least. It's a downgrade, to be sure.
I'll get it in the schedule.
Well, we can hop into the Hatchetman here and see what that needs. I believe that one we just ejected, so this one shouldn't be too bad. We'll repair that. Yeah, just a heatsink. Nothing too major here. Although we could definitely use more heat reduction on this hatchetman. But I don't think there's any good way to do that right now. So the hatchetman runs hot. We know that. That's good to go. So that's okay. It's going to take us quite a while to recover from this, so there's no doubt about that. The Clint is going to need a replacement AC-20, which I don't believe that we directly have. We can get one with some salvage fairly easily, but we don't directly have one. So we're going to have to downgrade this to, like, do we have ammo for an AC-5 or an LBX AC-5? We have ammo for an AC-5. So we're going to drop the AC-20, toss in an AC-5 ammo. Then we can put the AC-5 in. And then we have 6 tons to work with. So we could drop the medium laser here and instead go for like a large laser of some type if we've got the heat for it. We don't, but we could toss in additional heat sinks here. Not double heat sinks. We need single heat sinks, which apparently we don't have any more of right now. Okay, we can get them, but they're pretty expensive. Sure. And I want to max out this armor too, for sure. So 2.636 tons. We definitely can't run the ER large laser. I think that's pretty clear. We don't have the heat for that. So instead we'll run like dual medium lasers. Something kind of like this. And then we have 4 tons to work with. Oh, we don't need this extra ton of AC-20 ammo, that's for sure. We could put in an extra ton of AC-5 ammo, but this will be plenty of ammo. No doubt about that. We could upgrade our engine with this tonnage. A 275 is way too heavy. A 200 is not quite heavy enough. Because we've still got 3 tons to work with here. Okay. We could drop this, and instead of doing the ER clan large laser, we could go with simply an ER large laser, or perhaps just a regular large laser. Those are a lot more heat efficient. But it's not heat efficient enough. So we could just go for like ER medium lasers here. Drop the medium laser diverse optics and go for an ER medium laser. Yeah, it's a little hot on the heat, but I think it's okay. I think it's reasonable. We could drop the endosteel structure to save a little bit of weight here and have this be a little cheaper to maintain. We could even drop the Gyro XL. Actually, that's not bad. Something like that. That would do the trick. I'm not going to call this an upgrade, but it gets us back into fighting shape. So we'll do that for now.
Logged and noted.
Okay, now the Jenner. The Jenner ejected super early, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so all we lost here was an Artemis life support. Or an Artemis FCS, rather. The Artemis probably didn't help all that much, to be honest. What do we have here? Nothing. So we just validate that. Okay. Small downgrade, but actually, hang on a moment.
I'll get it in the schedule.
We've got tonnage remaining here. What happened here? Why do we have 1.375 tons? Because we lost something. I mean, we could put in a missile hardpoint, I suppose. This didn't have that previously, though, did it? All we've got is an SRM-6. That's 3 tons. An Arrow 4. No way that's going to fit. Instead, we could simply put on, like, a Rocket 10. It's a one-shot. It's an option. I don't think it's a great one. .375 tons. What if we were to put on the SRM-6? We would need ammo for that as well, of course. So we toss in some, like, I don't know, Deadfire ammo. Like that. And then we'd need a little bit of weight. So we could go like ferrofibrous endosteel. That does the trick. That's actually an upgrade. So we'll go ahead and do that. That'll take 3 days. Okay.
On it. I'll let you know when
The
that's
Wolfhound, we don't have anything to get that ready to go. So let's tick forward again here. And we're going to work on getting those good to go. So the Wolverine and the Mad Cat are going to need some additional work.
Job
There we go.
done,
There's everything done for now.
Welcome to the grease pit, Commander.
But the Wolverine and the Mad Cat need work. So we'll hop in here and let's see what we've got. Okay, we lost the LRM Delta and a bunch of heat sinks. One, two, three, four, as well as medium laser and a scatter FCS, which I'm not too concerned of the scatter FCS being lost. It's okay. Let's go ahead and grab 1, 2, 3, 4 heat sinks from the store. That's going to be expensive, but we do need to get them. We don't really have too much of a choice there. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we need to buy heat sinks. 2,500. That's not as expensive as they used to be. I think they changed that. So we needed 4 of these.
New equipment
Those
available.
used to be like 25,000 each. Okay, I'll have to remember that. Good to know. So, back in the Wolverine. Losing the scatter FCS hurts a little bit. But let's go ahead and put those heat sinks on. So 1 here, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we have 6 tons to work with. We lost our LRM, which is fine. I'm not too upset about that. We lost a medium laser as well, which we can definitely replace easily enough. We can ditch the LRM listen kill unless we have an LRM that we wanted to just put on here. I mean, there is the LRM 15. We don't have the tonnage for it. The question is, can we get the tonnage for it? We could run the Gyro XL. That gets us really close, actually. Okay. That's quite a price cut. Yeah, it's been a while since I checked that, I suppose. But yeah, that's a lot cheaper. A lot more affordable. I don't really like removing this much armor from the legs here. Let's put that back on, and let's remove it from the left arm instead. There's nothing in that arm, so that should be reasonably safe. We'll get that going. Cool. And now for the Mad Cat Mark II, which should just be the cockpit loss.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Clan cockpit and sensors does hurt a little bit. Does that automatically come back for a Mad Cat Mark II? It does. So we lose just the AC2 FCS. I don't care about that. We'll run a clan standard. That's completely fine. Okay, so the Mad Cat Mark II is good to go right now.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
The Wolverine is 5 days away. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mechs. Let's hop into storage and see if we can get another one building here. Maybe a Vulcan? We can get a Vulcan good to go. Do we want the 2T or do we want the 5T? Well, first off, let's get rid of this scimitar part. And these Hetzer parts, we're going to need a little bit more cash if we're going to get a Vulcan ready to go here. And we're going to have some difficulties with our weaponry for it. I think that's pretty clear. But the 5T, that by default removes the autocannon 2 and replaces it with 3 medium lasers and 2 additional tons of armor. That sounds good to me. We'll ready that. And there we go. So we're going to get this Vulcan going, but I don't think we're going to wait for it before we deploy. We'll hop over to our mech bays here, and let's refit this. Okay. So we'll repair all of this, and that'll cost 276,000. That's fine. By default, it has an engine core 240. We can put in a 250. Okay. And then we'd only have 3.5 tons to work with. But we are running the medium lasers. I'm going to drop the machine gun ammo and the jump jets here. Let's max out the armor and see what we've got. That was strip equip. That was not the button I wanted. Let's try that again. Perfect. I wanted to max armor. Okay. Back into the refit here. We hit the repair button, and we drop the machine gun ammo, drop the jump jet, drop the jump jet. This time, we max the armor. Okay. Now we can toss in the engine core 250 for now. That's the closest we have. And then we have 2 tons remaining here. Flamers have built-in ammo, right? I think so. Okay. 2 tons to work with. We have a ballistic hardpoint over here. So we can put that machine gun ammo back on and run a machine gun. I think we have a machine gun, right? Yeah, we do. So we can put the machine gun on like this, and we'd have 0.4 tons set. Do we need more heat sinks? No. This is good on the heat sinks. Okay. I mean, we could simply run a case down here. Component is not permitted in the legs. Right. It wouldn't be. What else would we want to do? Do we have a half ton of machine gun ammo? I mean, I don't think we need it. No, we don't. Okay. What additional weight can we put on here, then? I mean, we could go for, like, a Beagle Probe or Guardian ECM. What's the weight on those? 1.5 each? Yeah, not really what I'm looking for. Engine heatsink plus 4. Hilarious. Okay, I think in that case, we are... We do have a support weapon slot here. An AMS would be funny. We don't have ammo for it, of course. So, it's not very useful. What else could we potentially put in there? We don't have a tag. That would be perfect for this. Bolt-on eye rocket would, of course, go up here, which would be fine. We could do that. I think there's just nothing else that we can put in this half-ton for now. We'll have to accept that for what it is, and we'll put something in there later, is what we'll have to say. Sad. But it is what it is. So that'll take 16 days. We're not going to wait on that. Let's hop into the command center here, and we are going to run a mission with what we have right now. And it's going to be basically as easy of a mission as we can, because we need quick and easy cash. Okay, so this is a cicada here. Could run 1 machine gun on a half ton of ammo and add a heatsink. Yeah, that is an option. If we had a heatsink, which we could buy, and if we had a half ton of machine gun ammo, which I don't think we can buy. Let's double check the store, but I don't think they have machine gun ammo in half ton increments in the store. Come on, RogueTech. You can do it. There we go. Okay, ammo? Oh, they don't. So no half ton of machine gun ammo. So unfortunately, that's not currently an option. We'll have to get back to that. That's okay. So this is interesting here. A hit and run operation. Blakist, though. I don't want to fight against Word of Blake. I don't want to fight against Word of Blake. This is an escort mission. Steiner, huh? They'll be making a beeline for their extraction point. Yeah, that's interesting. It's a lance of mechs that we'll be escorting. And this is for Word of Blake. Steiner will attempt to escort this. Or will attempt to attack it. I think we run this. 1 million C-bills, 3 salvage, should be okay. So what are we going to bring? Well, everything that we can here. We're not going to bring Behemoth, of course. We'll bring our backup Hatchetman. And Majestic is the only pilot that can drive that. His Hollander is gone. So no more there. And we don't have a mech that can fit into this slot. For the moment. Until our Vulcan and our Wolverine... Wait, our Wolverine isn't back yet? For some reason I was thinking our Wolverine was back, but it's not. That's okay. That's okay. We don't need it here. We're going to deploy. And we should be fine. I know Darius says we'll need more than that, but Darius is frequently wrong. This is not Word of Blake, and hopefully we don't roll as poorly as we did last mission, because that was a lot of very poor rolls in a row. That was like, I don't know. 4 evasive pips on the Freeman, right? And stealth armor plus the stealth suppression, like the what am I trying to say? The electronic countermeasures, that's what it is. Reducing their sensors and 4 evasive pips, and they still hit us with 4 out of 4 UACs 4 turns in a row. That's unlikely, shall we say. But yeah, RNG is going to be what RNG is going to be. It's whatever. We just have to choose the high odds options, and usually they'll work out, but sometimes they won't, and that's just all there is to it. Not much we can do about that. That's part of the game. So we got kind of wrecked last mission, but we should have a pretty easy time this mission, in theory. Come on, loading screen. The loading screen is the hardest boss in RogueTech, I have to be honest. And what is that loading screen tip anyway? What is a belly weagle anyway? I don't know what a belly weagle is. I've never heard that term before. I feel like I need to look that up. Let's see what we've got here. Google doesn't know. I'm guessing this is an inside joke amongst the RogueTech devs. Cool. It is often spooky when it takes this long to load up, but it's Word of Blake that we're working for. So we're expecting there to be 6 Word of Blake mechs that we're escorting, and we're expecting Steiner to attack with 1 to 2 lances. In theory, it should go well. In theory. But we'll see how it goes. Any moment, RogueTech. Oh, here we go. Fantastic. Escort convoy to safety and escape. A lance of our heaviest mechs is in poor repair after a long patrol. We have credible intelligence suggesting that Steiner will attempt to exploit this vulnerability. We have no other significant units available in the area, so we need you to drop and run interference while we extract our mechs to a repair facility. Commander, while I imagine they will fire on targets of opportunity, you shouldn't rely on support from our employer's lance. They'll be making a beeline for their extraction point. Now, we may get control of that lance. RogueTech has the option for that, and I do have that enabled. So we'll see if that happens with mechs in the escort lance. But we'll see. This is definitely a longer load, which is spooky considering what we just dealt with. We desperately need this cash infusion.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, let's go.
Command interface.
Okay, friendly
initiated.
units about to come under fire. So, where is the convoy at? This is a suggested deploy point. That's the capture zone. I'm not going to deploy way back here. That's not going to happen. I'm going to deploy more forward. Up here seems pretty decent. Okay, let's go. Yes, set deploy position. Cool. Okay, so there's a bunch of Blakist vehicles out over here. I don't believe that this is the convoy. I believe these are simply allied. Okay. So they're going to make their way up. They're probably not going to be very useful, being that far back. Does a longer load time potentially relate to a larger battle? I feel like it does. I have no proof of that statement. I feel like it leads to a larger battle. Okay. So we're going to move up here and get to this road.
On it.
Copy that. Okay.
There we
let's
go. And we'll be able to make our way up here relatively quickly and easily. Of course, the Word of Blake vehicles back here are going to slowly make their way up. In fact, maybe not even all that slowly. They're making decent time. Better time than we would be making through that terrain, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and make our way onto this road if we can. Apparently we can't. Let's grab the hatchetman first. There we go.
Moving out.
I don't want to move the Madcap Mark II just yet. The AD AC-20 ammo is now poorly named for its armament, but hopefully we'll get an AC-20 for it back again.
Coordinates received.
Okay. The Commando will head on out over this way, and all looks good. Cool. Okay, so they are making their way over. They might get stuck behind this cliff, though. Kind of looks like they're thinking about it. Unless they can make their way up this, I suppose. That'd be a little weird if they could. Okay, so we're just going to run down this road here. We may end up having to wait for our Madcap Mark II, but that would be okay.
Location confirmed.
Cool. So I believe nothing will spawn until we get the capture point, although the fact that we couldn't spawn right here indicates that there probably is something, like, right up here. Okay, Word of Blake. You can make your way up. Cool.
I'll do what I can.
So I don't want to capture the capture point just yet. We'll position just outside of it.
Copy.
Okay. Nothing on sensors. Fascinating. Are these guys stuck? Yeah, they're not gonna get past this, I don't think. Where are they? Yeah, we don't have the vision. They're not gonna get past that, I don't think. So we're just going to move on up.
Heading out.
Let's go ahead and capture the capture point at this point.
Coordinates received. Got it.
And we'll see what we're up against.
Acknowledged. Moving to position.
We'll have to wait for the Word of Blake units to move. Yeah, they're just chilling right here. Is that the same AD AC ammo from like a month ago? That would be the same one, yes. Okay. This amount of lag means that it's probably spawning things. Well, we know it is. It's spawning the Word of Blake mechs. So, the Lyran reinforcements. Where are they? I see. We see a fire starter. We see a javelin. This is not very much, and that's great. They probably have spawn protection.
Waiting for orders.
And that's a Hunchback, a Preda, a Wolverine, and a Wraith. Okay, we see a Trebuchet and an Assassin. Yeah, this isn't all that bad. There may be another Lance that spawns when we reach the escort zone. We'll see. So my question is, do these guys have the spawn protection? We'll find out. Hitting our Hatchman a little bit there, but LRMs on a fire starter? Interesting choice.
What's up, boss?
Okay, so our Jenner is going to sprint up over here. We're out of range right now to fire on them, but that's okay. This Lance is not particularly threatening. We just need to get closed in on them a little bit. Okay, so these this Trebuchet is going to move up. It'll have some LRMs for sure. With that hit rate, 6 evasive. I'm wondering if they do have spawn protection. I don't think they do.
Waiting for orders.
Our Hatcheman is going to sprint up as much as it can.
Acknowledged.
Okay,
Good to go.
from here. This Wolverine is going to move up to
You
here.
betcha.
Only thing we can shoot at is this Trebuchet, but yeah, look at that. No spawn protection here at all. I love it. No sensor roll either, but
Got it.
we'll go ahead and pot shot this.
I may need some more time in the simulator.
Maybe. You'll have to talk to Word of Blake about that.
What can I do for you?
Okay, Snub-Nose PPC and Light PPC. We'll position up over here. What are these hit odds like? 30% and higher on the Trebuchet. So we'll fire on the Trebuchet.
Uh-huh.
Got one hit there. Not bad. Yeah, these vehicles are going to be pointless. They don't know how to get to us.
What do you need?
So the Magcat Mark II is going to stop sprinting. It's just going to walk forward here.
Roger.
And we're going to drop a sniper artillery if we're in range on one of these guys. And I think we're not. We're in range to drop it on the Javelin. So I guess that's what we'll do.
Okay, I'm on it.
Mediocre hit there. Okay. Oh, are they managing to pathfind around the cliff?
no.
Maybe. We're going to sprint forward here with our Commando.
Okay.
And, I mean, we could go to tag this Trebuchet. Sure.
Okay.
Hey, a successful tag. I like it. That's great. Okay, so next up is going to be Brick in the Add AC-20 ammo. He is much better at long range now than he used to be. So we'll position up here, and the question is, do we take this shot? We could very easily stray shot our friends, but we didn't. So it's all good.
Waiting
Okay.
on you, Commander.
This Wraith has basically no weaponry. That's exciting. Well, it can sprint up here, but that's going to be too far from the convoy, so we're going to take it up over this way. It doesn't have anything that can shoot at this range. And then we've got this Hunchback.
I
This is
hear
a
ya.
4E Hunchback, which means that it has a Thumper artillery on it,
I read you, Commander.
which is
Moving
great.
out.
We're going to drop that Thumper artillery, I think, on this Fire Starter, because that's probably the most likely to cause any splash damage. Landed on this side, so no splash damage there. Sad. But this next round, we should be much closer and should have much better firing arcs. So that should be great. Okay. Hunter moves over, and yeah. They're trying to pathfind around the cliff, but I don't expect that they're going to be very useful. So phase 18 is going to be the Assassin. It moves up. That's some good splash damage there, for sure.
Nice try.
Is that all you've got?
Okay,
Waiting for orders.
so our Hunchback is going to move up to here.
Don't need to tell me twice.
And at this point, we could put the Thumper artillery in direct fire mode and fire on this Trebuchet. Hit odds are pretty decent, 69.1%. And what do we got here? Actually, the same, but we can fire medium lasers on the Assassin. And on the Fire Starter, okay, so the Assassin is objectively the best target here.
Tell me what to shoot.
We missed, but there was a backstop here, meaning that we splash damaged the Fire Starter. I like it. Okay.
Hey.
Next up is our Commando. I'm going to send the Commando out over this direction. We're going to be looking to engage this Javelin, but for the time being, we will go ahead and fire on the Fire Starter.
Hope this is enough.
We didn't get much done there, but a little bit of damage works. Cool. So they're going to move the Javelin here. The Javelin jumps. An interesting choice. Not perhaps one that I would have made. The Jenner is going to head over here as well and engage the Javelin.
On the move. Full speed.
We don't expect too much out of this, but let's see.
Giving them everything I've got.
Yeah, about what I thought.
Let's
Okay.
do this.
So the hatchman is going to step up over here, and we're going to fire on this assassin. It's more of a pot shot than anything.
Alpha strike.
Yeah, we missed, but that's fine.
Reporting negative damage.
Reasonably expected there.
Good to go.
Okay, the Wraith can move up over here, but it can't move quite this far because it's part of the
On my way.
convoy. So it will position here and just fire its pulse laser. Wow, we just can't hit this assassin.
That would be a miss.
Okay, these vehicles are not going to get much done. The assassin has 3 evasive. Okay, the trebuchet moves up, fires on the hunchback. Fair enough.
I
Okay.
hear ya.
Now our Wolverine can move in. And here is
Coordinates
fine.
received.
Hit odds are best on kind of the assassin. Kind of. Slightly higher AC5 hit odds on the trebuchet, but we're going to take this.
Special delivery.
Hey, we did 10 damage. Finally. Cool. Okay. So the Saracen moves up, no problem there.
Good to go.
And we're going to move up this way with our Clint. Trebuchet is the way to go here. Okay, we'll fire on the Trebuchet.
Fire. All right.
Ooh, LRM ammo explosion into a dead Trebuchet. That was a good shot. I like it.
Down.
That was a very nice one. Okay. So their fire starter moves up. Gets some damage done on the Clint, but that's just some armor. No
I'm
big deal
showing
there.
Minor damage.
Cool. Next up is going to be our Hatchetman. The Hatchetman is going to position up over here,
Heading out.
and we're looking to attack, ideally, the fire starter, but realistically, the assassin.
Firing all weapons.
We missed the snub nose, unfortunately. But it's all good. Nothing too major right now.
Waiting
And
for orders.
snub nose and light PPC. Okay, we'll get in line here and then fire on the assassin. If we miss, hopefully we stray shot the fire starter. We'll see if it happens. We did. Fantastic. That was really quite good. These vehicles are a complete and total waste of time. But we're going to move up our Madcap Mark II, which needs to try to close in a bit. And hopefully... we have to drop the sniper artillery on the javelin, sadly. I was hoping we'd be in range there. Did a little bit of damage to our own Jenner there, but it's not a big deal. Seems RNGesus has forgiven you. Well, I don't know. It feels like RogueTech rolls a number at the beginning of the mission. And that number is what determines whether you get good RNG or not. Because you either get good RNG for the whole mission, or you get good RNG for the bad mission. Or for the whole mission. Bad RNG for the whole mission, or good RNG for the whole mission. It feels like there's no in between.
Damage is light.
Or I guess just like
Minor
mediocre
damage,
RNG for
nothing
the
to
whole
see
mission.
here.
It feels like the RNG never changes until you go to a different mission, is what I'm trying to say. I don't have proof of that statement, but that's what it feels like. So we're going to head in and kick this javelin. We'll overheat a little bit, but this is not going to be a problem. We missed our kick on the javelin, which is very unfortunate.
Damn it.
But it's not the end of the world. We still got good hits in there, and the javelin is still unsteady. So the only thing that we end up losing for that is our 2 evasive tips, which isn't the end of the world. It's okay.
Watch my heat levels.
And I say it's very unfortunate, but it was a 50-50. Okay. So the javelin immediately jumps, which is an interesting choice. It's not going to get rid of its unsteady doing that.
Send me a real mech warrior.
Oh, and then he ejected. Cool. He panicked and ejected. Sounds good.
Yes,
So our Hatchman is going to close in over here on this fire starter. Are we
Affirmative.
better off attacking the assassin? We absolutely are. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Small overheat here. Do we care about it? The ammo explosion is literally not possible to happen here. The shutdown has that same 15% chance as in the Mongoose last mission. Let's see if we roll better this time.
Locking in all weapons.
Good hits there.
That one's gonna leave a mark.
And we did
Commander,
not fail the
I'm
roll.
starting to
Cool.
cook.
So the Wraith is going to move up here. Can we melee this? We can. Do it. Get that melee.
Moving out.
I love it.
Ugh!
And we missed the melee, but that's okay. We don't care about the Wraith taking damage.
Hey, stay in the crosshairs.
Missed literally everything there, but that's okay. We don't care. Our hopes and dreams were not riding on that.
What can I do
So the
for you?
Wolverine is going to move up over here. The Wolverine is definitely better ranged to take out the assassin.
Got it.
So we're going to continue to fire on the assassin here. Some solid hits internally there.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
What is the damage state of that assassin on that flank? Are we hitting the CT? No, we're hitting this torso. Okay, that's fine.
Yes, Commander.
So the Hatchman is going to advance, and let's see what hit odds are best on. We're going to roll for the assassin here. Fewer chances of stray shot.
Here we go.
Okay, that's fine.
Negative damage.
Cool. Now what? They're going to move the fire starter here. Let's see what it does. It backs off. That's actually really, really good. And it turns its back to us.
Aye, aye.
An interesting choice, to be sure.
Copy that.
I think we're going to fire on the fire starter's rear arc here. We have slightly lower odds, but if we hit, we're going to do so much. That was in the arm. Unfortunate. But whatever. I was hoping to hit CT there, but it didn't happen. We're going to run the Commando as up here as we can.
Going as fast as I can.
Hit odds are substantially better on this assassin. And we are hitting the internal structure, so let's go ahead and do that. We tagged it. That's nice. Destroyed his SRM too. I mean, that's not a very big deal, but we destroyed it. The Madcat Mark II is going to advance here. Unfortunately, we can't fire the sniper artillery at this range, but we can fire everything else.
Locked on rear armor.
5 damage. Okay. The Madcat Mark II is really far back there. So, fair enough.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Okay, we're going to move up over this way.
Coordinates received.
Good hit odds on the assassin. We'll take them.
Roger that. Fight. Show me your
Nice.
war face.
So that assassin is dead.
Stay down.
Next up, of course, is that fire starter. These vehicles have almost managed to figure out a way to get here. Cool. Do the limbs have directionally variable armor or just the core? That is just the core. The limbs have armor that is the same no matter where you're hitting it. So if you hit this arm in the front, it's got 70 armor max. If you hit this armor in the back, it's got 70 armor max. It doesn't matter which side you hit the arms or legs on, that is only in the torso. And you can't hit the head from the back. You can only hit the head from the front, but the odds on that are incredibly low.
Waiting for orders.
We're going to move up with our Hunchy here, and the Hunchy can actually fire the Thumper artillery here. 80% hit odds. I say we go for it.
Targeting enemy 6.
Not bad. I was hoping it would become unsteady, but it did not. So the Hunter moves up, and that is absolutely fine. These guys are not doing anything but wasting time right now, so it's okay. When do you roll your initiative? Phase 14? Okay.
Good to go.
The Hatchman can move up.
Moving
Its hit odds are very low. It's very likely to stray shot in one of our friends here, but I think I'm willing to risk that. Okay, we got a hit there. Not bad. I believe that was an arm hit.
Commander.
And we're going to head up with the Jenner here. I'm going to vigilance it so that we can sprint because we missed the melee last round. But that will allow us to get up here and hit the rear arc.
Double time. Let's go.
Not the greatest of hit odds, but we'll see what we get. This overheat is pretty likely to happen. I'm going to not fire this heavy laser.
Putting one back.
Decent rear arc hits there, but it's certainly not the finest of hits.
There.
Okay, we'll close in here, and we could theoretically kill this fire starter, but it does have 6 evasive. It's hard to hit.
Okay.
Let's see what we get. We managed to tag it, so that's something. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, our Mad Cat is going to step in.
Got it.
I think I'm still willing to risk these stray shots. We'll see what happens.
Confirmed.
Literally nothing. Okay, that's fine. Better than it could have been.
Missed.
Okay, phase 18 is going to be the
I hear
Wraith.
ya.
The Wraith will position... Distance from convoy, fair enough. The Wraith will position about here. Is the best it can do. Oh, we're calculating now? Okay. There we go.
Don't need
So
to
the
tell
Wraith
me
will move
twice.
up. We'll try the medium pulse laser. Not too much that we're likely to get out of it.
Behind you.
Oh! 20 internal damage and an engine crit? We'll take it.
Another hit like that and you're toast.
Cool.
Waiting on you, Commander.
And the Invictus can then move up to about here.
You betcha.
And we'll see what we get.
Targeting enemy backside.
One hit, one miss. But he's unsteady.
Good to go.
And that
I read you, Commander. Moving
means
out.
that he's dead. So we're going to hit him here with the Thumper Artillery.
Roger, Commander. A fast shot.
Let's
And
hit 'em
kaboom.
hard.
We're out of there. So we're going to exit combat here, and we're still expecting that there might be another Lance that drops in.
What do you need?
The AD-AC-20 ammo is going to sprint up,
Got it.
and we're going to need to exit combat fairly soon, because it'll go a lot faster if we exit combat. But this
can I
will
do for
allow
ya?
us to sink our heat and bring our convoy up.
Moving fast.
Fantastic. So the Hunter moves in. This is fine. There may or may not be another Lance. We'll find out. Eventually, these guys will finish their movement. And maybe they'll even be useful at some point, but I doubt it. I strongly doubt that they will be useful at some point. Okay. So we've exited combat. That's perfect. Our Madcap Mark II, of course, as soon as the game catches up, is going to want to get onto the road here and just sprint up it as quickly as possible. I'm not sure what the game is doing in the background right now to be this laggy, but okay. The Jenner's going to move up over here. The Commando up over this way.
Advancing, I guess.
The Hunchy can close in.
On my way.
The Invictus can't go this far, obviously. But we can position about here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 205. Sad. But we can go about here.
Waiting
And
on you,
next
Commander.
round we can get close, but we're not going to want to hop into the escort zone just yet. If there's going to be additional enemy units, it'll be when we enter this escort zone. But I kind of don't think there will be. We'll see. There may be. These vehicles are very useful. Very useful indeed. Okay, there we go. There's that done. So now it's our round again, and we're going to head up onto the road
Moving to position.
and just continue sprinting as over this way as we possibly can.
On it.
Cool. So this is a Hatchetman. We don't care about
On
where
my
that
way.
goes necessarily. The Jenner can push past here a bit, as can the Commando, although the Commando doesn't actually get out of there just yet.
Affirmative.
Got it.
And how close to this can we get? Here.
Moving
Okay.
out.
So the Wraith will position up over this way,
You betcha.
and the Wolverine.
Moving out.
Cool. And now our allies. Gonna be a bunch of jerks. By a bunch of jerks, I mean wasting a bunch of time. Cool. They've actually managed to make their way almost here, so there's that. So we're just going to sprint on up
I'll do what I can.
and head on over.
On my way.
Cool.
Position confirmed.
We're about to find out whether there's going to be any additional enemies or not. So the Freeman can position up over here for the time being. The Hunchy is going to have to get here so that hopefully it can get in next round. We do not want to enter the escort zone yet.
Got it. Uh-huh.
We want to stack up just outside the escort zone. Because we want to make sure that they can all enter the escort zone on the same round. So that we only have one round of them taking fire, hopefully. Okay. So the real question here is, will there be more enemies? I'm planning that there will be, but hoping that there won't be, is the answer. So the Mad Cat is going to continue its mad dash down this road.
Moving to position.
The Hatcheman can continue to push through here,
Move order received.
as can the AD-AC-20 ammo for the moment.
On my way.
The Jenner will chill, as will the Freeman. Okay. The Hunchback does make it in this round. So in
Don't
we
need to
go.
Tell me twice.
More contacts. Okay. So that's what we were
You're in
expecting.
position, Commander. Hold your ground until
What do
the
they have?
package is on its way.
A turbo Hunchback. AC-20 and small laser. A Chaparral, that could be problematic. A Hunchback 2C and a Maxim Striker. Okay, that could definitely hurt.
Good to go.
We're going to move in with our Wolverine here. We're still in combat for this round, so we can't fire at this moment. Okay. So, they're going to be here for one more round, and then they'll leave. We're now entering combat, of course, and what do we roll up first? The Jenner. Now, all of these still have lots of evasive, but we have to move with our
Ready for
lights, at
orders.
least. We have to get that evasive going.
No shooting.
So we're going to move up
Just
here.
running.
These guys, I don't believe they have spawn protection, but they do have a lot of evasive.
Receiving you.
Our Hatcheman is going to sprint in over here.
Let's go.
We can try to pot shot them a little bit. We may stray shot our evacing friends, but we don't actually care about that.
Roger.
So it's worth taking the risk. No problem.
Failed to connect.
We don't get a hit there, but that's fully expected. Okay, at this point, our Commando absolutely needs to make its way up here as well. We need as many evasive as we can.
I hear ya.
Okay, the Wraith cannot be moved. And we cannot fire with it, so we can only brace.
Resting my neck.
Next
What's
up
up,
is the
bud?
Hatchetman, and the Hatchetman is going to move up over
Okay.
here, getting as much evasive as we can, while also firing on this turbo Hunchback. I'm wondering what's so turbo about it. We might be about to find out. Maybe it just runs very quickly. We'll see.
Commander.
Well, the AD-AC-20 ammo definitely needs to make its way over here as well. Okay.
Yep.
Next up is our Mad Cat. I believe we're out of range of the sniper artillery. Including if we direct fire it? Yes. Well, we'll just pot shot this and see if we can get anything done. Unlikely. There we go. Nothing happening there.
Damn it, I missed.
We did start a fire, so I guess that's something.
What can I
Okay,
do for you?
now the Hunchback is absolutely going to drop a Thumper Artillery in artillery mode on this Turbo Hunchback.
Time to die.
Nice hit there. I like it.
Waiting
Okay.
for orders.
Our Wolverine here, of course, there's not a lot it can do. It can continue to try to fire on the Turbo Hunchback, but there's only so much that it can do.
Here we go.
And that amount is 0. I like it.
Hey, stand still when I'm attacking you.
Okay,
What
so
can I do for ya?
finally is this unit here. We can just pot shot the PPCs at the Turbo Hunchback. We could turn off the field inhibitor. That won't actually help it.
Tell me what to shoot.
Oh, that's a hit. Cool. Well, that'll do. Unfortunately, we're not going to get another shot with the Thumper. But let's see what that Hunchback 2C does here. Shoots at the Wolverine. Okay. We can handle that. I'm completely okay with them firing at these mechs because they're about to disengage. The Turbo Hunchback is next. Let's see what's so turbo about it. Actually, a Saracen moved up and fired on the Hunchback 2C. Sure, it didn't do any damage, but at least that's the vehicle's actually doing something for once. That's nice. Okay, Turbo Hunchback, what do you got? To be honest, that just felt like a normal Hunchback. Okay. Well, we'll see if the vehicles get any damage done out over here. They are kind of close at this point. Okay, that's some damage into the 2C. Not too bad. The Chaparral and the Maxim Striker are a little bit concerning here. We'll see what they do, if anything. Okay, here comes that Striker. Firing on the Wolverine. For now, it's okay.
This is getting serious.
What's the armor like on the rear arc of that Striker? 65. Okay. The Hunter moves up and goes for the Hunchback 2C. Not bad. Not bad. And here comes the Chaparral. It drops this arrow for here. Gets splash damage on all of those. And we're good.
I'm getting all shot up, Commander.
So we get our bonus. That looks fantastic.
Took a heavy hit there.
So these guys are all going to be out of
Whoa,
here. They're
easy
fine.
on the armor, buddy.
That Hunchback 2C is going to take some more side arc damage there. And also get some bonus heat. I like it. The Kanga is going to fire on the Maxim Striker, and it actually got some really solid side arc hits there. Actually, was that front arc?
Objective
Okay, so
secure.
these guys are out of here. At this point, we could head to extraction, but we're not going to do that. We're going to eliminate the Steiner units. I want the bonus. So this Hunchback 2C has very paper-thin weak armor. It's got those dual LBX AC-20s, which hurt, for sure. But we're going to get in behind it here. Can we get in to here and kick? Unfortunately, no. That's only a charge, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to sprint into the rear arc here of this Hunchback 2C.
Copy that.
And we're going to hit him with everything we've got back here. In theory, we could one-shot him. But that's pretty unlikely.
Here it comes.
Yeah, mostly just softening up the rear arc there, but that's fine for now.
Ready for orders.
Okay, the add AC-20 ammo is going to move up over this way, I think. The AC-5 is ideal ranged here, but we need to look at this armor. That did hit the front arc. This is kind of ideal here. Oh, come on, RogueTech. There you go. No, not there. Wow, very sensitive here. There we go. This is where we want to be. Cool.
On my way.
So we're going to go here, and we're going to hit the Maxim Striker front arc. We could kill it here. The Hunchback 4T, nicknamed Turbo Hunchback, drops both the medium lasers to upgrade to a new rated at 250 fusion engine core. So yeah, in that case, it's just moving faster. Got it. So the Commando is going to also move into the rear arc here. I would love to find a position where we could hit the Hunchback 2C rear arc. The engine is impossible to replace. Okay. Interesting. Unfortunately, we can't really get into this rear arc very effectively. Can we melee it? Oh, we can melee it. This is fine. Cool. So let's hit that rear arc melee.
I'd rather use weapon, but...
Boop. Fantastic. So that's a lot of internal damage there. We crit both of its LBX AC-20s. But it's not destroyed, so we may take a huge amount of damage from that next round. We'll see. We're going to walk up here with our Hatchetman, or rather sprint up.
Confirmed.
The Hunchback 2C is the one to go after in terms of hit odds, but I don't really want to hit its front arc. I think we're going to hit the Chaparral here.
On it.
There we go.
Hey there.
Okay, our Hatchetman is going to walk in over here, and that's absolutely going to hit this Maxim Striker. Heat is a concern, so we're going to not fire the Snub Nose, but this thing doesn't have that much armor left. It's kind of unlikely that we kill this without the Snub Nose, though. Oof. D100 plus 15 is less than 60? Spicy. Less than 30. That's much better. But I want to fire this medium pulse laser and not this one, if we're not going to fire one. And we'll try to fire the machine guns for crit fishing. Sad. We missed the PPC. That Maxim Striker has almost no armor left, to be clear. And we didn't shut down, so that's good. At this point, we're going to continue to close in with the Magcat Mark II as much as we can, which will be up to like here.
Acknowledged.
I would love to drop artillery on this Turbo Hunchback, but we're out of range. So we're just going to call that good. Okay, they're firing on the Hunchback 2C there. Is that a knockdown? It is. So we can't hit the rear arc anymore. But that does reserve him back to phase 8. Let's see what these guys do in terms of damage here. Ooh, all of those missiles missing the Maxim Striker. Sad. That is its weak side. Okay. The Hunter moves up. Goes for the Hunchy. Takes out a jump jet, I guess. Mostly does armor damage. The 2C pilot is now panicked, though. The Kanga is now firing on the Hunchy as well. And that's an engine destruction. Beautiful. So the 2C is out of here. Which was what we had hoped for. The Chaparral, of course, is going to need to be dealt with. The Maxim Striker moves up, goes for the rear arc of the Ad AC-20 ammo. To be honest, it kind of did more damage to the Chaparral than it did to the Ad AC-20 ammo.
Is overheating.
I'm okay with this. So let's see what the vehicles decide to do from here now that they're actually being useful. Going for the Turbo Hunchback. Mostly building up instability there, weakening that side a little bit. It's okay. Cool. The artillery piece decides to fire on the Hunter, of all things. I literally don't care about that. Cool. The Hunter goes for the Chaparral. Gets some good damage in there. I like it. Okay, and now the Turbo Hunchback moves. It rolled very late on the initiative there. Okay, I'm not sure why that was the call. Moving up here kind of makes sense, but firing on the hatchman? Okay. If that's what you really want to do, I suppose it's okay. We can move up over here, though, and start hitting the rear arc of the turbo hunchback. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're a little ways away, not as close as I'd like to be, because he moved all the way up here, which is why I was saying that movement wasn't a bad move, but
my internal structure.
we'll position up here with the hatchman and check hit odds. Maxim Striker. Okay. We have a pretty good shot of destroying this thing, even though its rear armor is pretty fresh. Or we could fully miss. That works too.
Negative damage. Repeat.
Cool.
Negative damage. I'm taking
Okay,
heat damage.
the add AC-20 ammo, at this point, I want to come back here. Can we melee this? Only if we charge. So we're not going to do that. We are going to position back over here, or maybe here.
Coordinates received.
Okay. I don't think we'll fire the AC-5. Actually, we kind of can't fire anything. We got hit with so many heat increasers, so
My heat sink
sad.
can't take much more.
The hatchman, on the other hand, can come up over here
On the move.
and can attack the chaparral, but not with the snub nose. So we can whittle down its rear armor a little bit here. I'd much rather be hitting the front armor, to be honest. In fact, let's just brace and sink heat here. Okay. When does our commando move? This round. So the hunter moves up, fires on that Maxim Striker. Gets a good number of hits there. I like it.
Hey.
And the commando is going to sprint in, once we're done calculating anyway. There we go. We'll sprint in up over here and get some rear arc hits on this turbo hunchback. Not the greatest of hits, but it'll do. We made him unsteady, and hopefully we'll get to move before he does with the Jenner. We'll see. Hunter moves up, goes for the turbo hunchback. I don't love that call at this point. I would have preferred the Maxim Striker or the Chaparral, to be honest.
What do you need?
The Magcat Mark II can position up over here,
Moving to position.
and the Chaparral is now actually in range of the sniper artillery, so we will definitely drop a sniper artillery indirect on that.
Attacking from position.
We hit our hatchman a little bit, but way more damage to the Chaparral, so I'm okay with that. Cool. Okay, the hunter moves up. Lots of stability building up on that turbo hunchback. I don't love that. I would prefer to hit the rear arc than have him knocked down. That Chaparral taking some damage here. Its rear arc is still reasonably strong. Although maybe not this strong. Okay, it was that strong. Looks like the PPC missed, so that's fine. What else do we have here? Chaparral moves out of the fire. Goes for our hatchetman here. It gets a little bit of damage done there, but the big danger
Minimal
there is the
damage on
heat.
that hit. It's getting hot in here.
So obviously the hatchetman can't really do too much from there. Oh, the turbo hunchback hasn't moved yet this round. Okay. The Maxim Striker moves over, goes for the hunter. It could get the kill here. But it didn't. Okay. That's the structure exposure. But he gets to move right now. Fires at the add AC-20 ammo and misses. That's good. That AC-20 on that rear arc could have been a problem. But it was not. So that's fantastic.
Commander.
Next up is going to be our Jenner, which is running very hot right now.
On it.
And we're just going to have to position it here and drop heat.
Commander.
Same with our hatchetman, to be honest. We need to get out of this fire,
On my way. Double time.
and we need to drop heat.
Over the red line. Heat
The
damage.
Freeman is going to move in and attack the Turbo Hunchback in the rear arc.
Heat
We're going to
gauge
look
is
for a
redlining.
kick here. Decent odds, so it should be good.
Moving to position.
Yeah.
Excellent. That could easily be a kill. And it was.
Enemy down.
Sadly, the AC-20 was destroyed, but we might get an LBX AC-20 out of the 2C, which would be great. I would absolutely love that. Okay, the Hunter moves up. There's just the 2 vehicles left. I would like them to actually attack the vehicles, but they don't seem interested. We're going to make our way over to the Chaparral here. We would have to charge it, sadly. And really, we should hit the Maxim Striker. But it's the side arc on both that we want to hit. We could hit the front arc of the Chaparral here. Hit odds are quite low,
Confirmed.
but we can see what we've got. Just a single medium laser? Sure, it's not going to be great. Yeah. About what I expected there. Cool.
Damn it. Heat damage.
Okay, so the Hunter moves up, goes for the Chaparral. The armor is getting sufficiently low that pretty much any of these can kill those. But it's kind of not happening. We're going to position the Hatchman here. And this is likely to kill it, actually. What's that overheat look like? It's okay.
Now let's see how you handle this.
Well, that didn't go so well. We did crit the Arrow 4, so that's something.
Inflicted heavy damage.
We had better odds than that,
Take
but
heat damage.
okay. Missiles coming in there, medium laser destruction, getting more internal damage. But the Chaparral is still kicking. The Maxim Striker moves over and puts more Infernos into the Hatchman. Well, it's going to shut down, I'm pretty sure. That's a lot of heat there.
Sauna in here.
You shut down? Actually, he didn't shut down. That's
Yep.
bold, but okay. We can't really do too much with the Madcap Mark II right now. We're too close, so we're going to have to brace. And now the Chaparral will move. Let's see what it does. Goes for this Hatchman. And it's going to toss a bunch more heat in there. Okay.
Hey, watch those heat levels.
So the Hunter moves up and is going to go for the Maxim Striker. It's a structure exposure, and that was a lot of internal structure damage, but it's not destroyed yet. Okay. The Kenga moves up, goes for the Maxim Striker as well here. It should kill him. That's another 5, but only 1 missile going into the internal structure there. Sad.
Standing by.
The Hatchman could go for a melee here, in theory. But we can't afford that heat. We're going to shut down for sure. High chance of ammo explosion as is.
I'm going to need a medic.
Okay. We failed the injury check and the shutdown roll. I'm not shocked about that,
I'm here.
but that's not as bad as it could have been. We're going to move in with our Freeman here, and we're going to go for the Maxim Striker, which has a lot of evasive right now. 7 evasive.
If you say so.
But there's another 30 damage into it and an SRM-2 destruction.
Critical hit, Commander.
Would there have been any meaningful benefit from waiting outside the escort zone for an additional round to let the allied vehicles get into range? Perhaps. They were pretty much already in range. The bigger benefit would have been to wait until the Madcap Mark II was caught up. I didn't want to wait that long because that would have been like 8 rounds. But that would have been the bigger
Ready for
benefit,
order.
for sure. As it is, we're okay, but
Copy.
it's a little awkward. But it's only awkward because these guys both have heat generators. So the Maxim Striker is finally destroyed.
Hostile.
And all we need to do now is take out the chaparral. Cool. So the add AC-20 ammo is going to walk over here, but I don't think we can get away with firing anything. Maybe the AC-5. Maybe. We could fire the AC-5.
I have the advantage.
And we hit. But that thing has a lot of internal structure. More missiles coming in here, and we're good. There we go. But yeah, definitely waiting for the Magcat Mark II to get caught up, and the Hatchetman as well would have been beneficial.
Mission
But I think it was still fine. Like, the primary issue was heat. We didn't take all that much damage, but we could have, to be clear, with the AC-20 and the dual LBX AC-20s, we could have taken a lot of damage there if we had rolled more poorly. But overall, that wasn't too bad. Okay. I would have thought this would have loaded by now, but okay. There we go. Now we're loading it. Fantastic. 1.3 million. Let's go. 1.3 million C-bills will definitely cover our repair costs. We took very little damage across the board. What do we want here? Hunchback 2 C parts would be pretty nice. There is this Clan LBX AC-20, though. And that's really nice. I'm looking for ammo for it right now. There's a ton of ammo for it. Cool. So beyond that, what would we want here? A double heatsink kit would be amazing to get our Wolfhound back online. We don't have one of those available here. We could just go for a Clan Endosteel structure. That's a pretty good one. Comm Suite is okay. Cockpit voice might not be terrible. ER micro laser is pretty good too, but I think that's what we're going to take here. We did get a hunchback part there. And we'll need to decide what we want to do with that LBX AC-20. I would have liked to get both of them. Unfortunately, we only got one. If we had gotten both of them, I would be refitting the Magcat Mark II with that. As it is, we might still refit it. The sniper artillery's range and lack of artillery mode is what's really reducing it in my mind right now. Sniper artillery used to be a lot better, but then they added the knockdown chance, and they added the, or rather they removed the artillery mode. We might be able to upgrade the engine in the Mark II and have it be faster as well, and have it properly fight. That would be a big power boost. No doubt about that. Only having slug ammo on the LBX AC-20 cluster, or the LBX AC-20, would be a little sad. I would like to have some cluster ammo on that as well. But let's go ahead and get this repairing done. And the question is... Okay, the Magcat Mark II took no damage. So let's hop in here and immediately start working on that. So we'll refit the Magcat Mark II. The Commando also took no damage, so that's nice. So we would end up dropping the sniper artillery cannon. I feel like this is not the mech for that. We have an Engine Core 275 in here already. And we drop the sniper ammo. Like that. So this is the largest engine core we have currently. So this is the fastest it's going to go for the moment. But we could definitely slot in an additional ER large laser here if we wanted to have no heat efficiency whatsoever. And then hypothetically, we would put in the LBX AC-20 and the 1 ton of LBX AC-20 ammo. I would prefer to have a second ton, but for right now, we only have the 1. Like this. So a second ton would go in here, and our heat efficiency is in the toilet. There's no doubt about that. We could put a Clan heatsink kit on here, but we don't have Clan heatsinks. We could drop the ER large lasers and go for shorter range weaponry. That'll give us a lot of weight to work with, which isn't necessarily what we want. Can we get away with the engine heatsink +4 in this? I don't think we can equip that, can we? Yeah, we're overweight, but we actually can equip this. Interesting. That does help, but that puts us 3 tons overweight. We can simply drop one of our ER large lasers and put in an ER medium laser in its place. That will both help the heat efficiency and get this all correct, but I'm pretty sure that we can't have this engine heatsink +4. Yeah, too many internal heatsinks. That's what I thought. So we have 4 tons remaining for this. Obviously, we can drop this and run the ER large laser and just have way too much heat. That is an option. We would need better than single heat sinks to pull this off. So the ER large lasers, I think, are just too much. We could run regular large lasers. That's 1 ton overweight. So we'd have to drop a heatsink to do that. Alternatively, we could run ER medium lasers. And that'll be much more heat efficient, but now we need something to use up 7 tons. We could upgrade our LRM-5 to an LRM-15, perhaps. We already used that, I guess. There's no way we can fit an Aero 4 in here. That's just not going to happen. So what else would we want to do? What's the UAC-2 weight? LBX-AC-5 is 7 tons. We don't have ammo for the LBX-AC-5. Sad. We definitely want to drop the LRM-5. I think that's very clear. LRM-5s are pretty useless. We could put in something like an SRM-6. That's pretty useless as well. This is a sizable upgrade in most respects. But we have 10 tons to work with here. If we had the ammo for it, I would suggest a heavy Gauss. That would be pretty amazing. Component is not permitted in the arm? Is that only in the torso? Yeah, it's only in the torso. Okay, fair enough. So we've got the UAC-2, and it's not great. We've got a heat issue if we upgrade our lasers. I mean, we could just say, you know what, that's okay. We know that we're going to have a heat issue. That's a possibility. 3 tons remaining here. We could run an SRM-6, and we don't have ammo for it. But just like, listen, kill. Something like that. We'd have to drop a ton. Relatively easy to do, though. We could toss in, like, AX ammo to do more armor damage, and then drop one of these ER large lasers down. We'd still have 2 tons to work with. Unless we dropped to a regular large laser, but we'd have to drop 2 tons beyond that. So what do we want to do here? Our options are extremely limited. There's no doubt about that. Under most circumstances, I'd just toss in 2 additional heat sinks. And you know what? Let's go ahead and validate this. It will be underweight. I'm well aware of this. We're going to go buy 2 heat sinks now that we know that those are cheap. So we'll hop into the store. And we're going to purchase ourselves 2 heat sinks. I'm actually going to purchase 5. They're cheap. So let's do that. Okay, now we're going to wait for the Madcat Mark II to finish up. I want to prioritize that, because we're going to need to do additional work on it. So we'll tick forward for 5 more days. Go ahead and practice, Fun Cobra. Cool. Okay, 2 more days here. There we go. Now we'll hop in here and toss those onto the Mad Cat, which is underweight at this moment, but this will help its heat a little bit. Not a huge amount. Like, heat sinks are not good. Double and clan double heat sinks are much, much better. But we'll just toss in generic heat sinks for the moment. That'll help the heat, and we'll call it good.
I'll get it in the schedule.
Okay. So now we need to continue to tick forward a little bit here and get at least the Mad Cat Mark II done. I'm not going to wait on the Vulcan, but there we go. Let's go through our mech warriors here, see who needs training. Majestic is going to be out, so we can't train Majestic, but that's okay.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Brick, grab a point of tactics.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Live fire, a point of guts.
Mech warrior training.
Excellent.
I'm here.
Magistrate, a point of guts as well.
Training complete.
Always good.
Commander? Yes, Commander.
Smoke, gunnery. Amazing.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Commander?
And Von Cobra, piloting. Cool.
Mech warrior training complete.
Okay. We're ready to deploy again. So let's hop into the command center. We're still looking for something that's relatively easy. We should probably get an engineering upgrade going here.
Some things to update you on, boss.
And what do we want to go for? Just a structural upgrade? Sure, that'll reduce our monthly upkeep by 5%. That's pretty worthwhile. So we'll get started on that. And what do we want to deploy to? Let's find out. I think definitely a 2-skull here. It's a Blakist Noble. Almost all of these are against Word of Blake. Spicy. This is for Word of Blake. Okay, let's go ahead and run this assassinate mission. I think we'll be fine. So, Majestic is out. We will substitute in Behemoth. Majestic was themselves a substitute. And then the Wolverine can come in, and we could bring in Von Cobra? He's not great at that, to be clear. He's very not great at that. But we'll just go ahead and go with it. What could go wrong? So this is an assassinate in the Badlands. We are against Word of Blake. So we're expecting large groups of enemies. But let's see how this goes. As long as we can get our Mad Cat Mark II into range, we should be good. That LBX AC-20 is going to run out of ammo pretty quickly, though. But it doesn't really matter. We get a few good shots off, and we're in melee range as well. Almost nothing survives. So in theory, we should be fine. In theory. Well, let's go ahead and load this on in. It'll take a bit. Hopefully not too long, but it is against Word of Blake, so it has more things to load than normal. And I am going to take this opportunity to imbibe some tea. We'll be back in just a moment. Did you know that construction ships can be automated for mining and research stations? You're talking about in Stellaris? Yes, I'm aware of that, and I do not automate it. There are some situations where I don't really care, but in most situations, I want to get my resources out of the stations in a particular order. So I usually prefer to not automate things in Paradox games if I can at all help it. And in many cases, that includes exploration, although I will do auto-explore at a certain point. But we need to destroy the target and escape. Commander, this mission should be simple. A Blakist Noble is participating in a patrol as a show of support for the troops. She's insisted on using her ancestral family mech, which is a Cicada CDA-2A. This should make eliminating her quite easy. Recognizing the danger, her handlers have sent along an extremely heavy supporting lance. If you're quick and aggressive, you should be able to destroy her little cicada before her escorts can react. A hit and run operation should be straightforward enough, Commander. Just remember that if you get bogged down in fighting the escorts, escape is always an option. Oh, we'll get bogged down in fighting the escorts. Absolutely.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, let's do this.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, where are we? Ambushers and supporting enemy forces. Okay. This is going to be interesting. We're going to spawn exactly where it tells us to. Well, not exactly. We're going to spawn, like, right over here. And we need to take a look at what we've got going on here. Okay. That's a Jenner. That's an Ifrit, which is a little spooky.
Keep your eyes peeled, Commander. This looks like an ideal place for an ambush.
You don't say. We're well aware. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to have to punch our way through this Ifrit pretty quickly before it can get closed in on us. That's going to be very important here. Now, round one here, of course, we have spawn protection.
Throttling up for what it's worth.
So we're just going to start heading over this way. That's the cicada in question. Okay. So that's the cicada there. We're going to move our Jenner off over this direction.
Copy that.
And my question is, are there 13 enemies on the map right now? Including an Avatar? And an Ifrit? Maybe.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, we're going to head on over.
Hauling ass.
Maybe when you reach Endgame Crisis, you can automate it. Yeah, that might not be a terrible call, actually. It kind of depends on how dealt with the Endgame Crisis is right out of the gate, right? Because we're pretty powerful, and the real question is just how much help are we going to have right away from the Federation? So it's an interesting point for sure. We'll take a look at that. Okay, next round is going to be the pivotal round here. That's a Maxim APC.
Receiving you.
We're going to take our AD AC-20 ammo down over here for now. Okay, so I think our plan is basically...
Yeah.
Well, we need to sprint over to here. There we go. I think our plan is basically the lights are going to go up here and try to eliminate the cicada while we fight this ambusher force. And then we'll see what the supporting enemy force has. We may just bail after we kill the cicada,
Understood.
because this is quite a lot. So let's see. Okay, spawn protection has been removed. That's a Jenner, which isn't very scary. This Avatar is way out here. Way, way out there. So I'm not too scared of the Avatar right now. The Ifrit is scary. Ow!
I'm hit.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
My armor's getting stripped off.
Well, it did use up a lot of its damage there on the Wolverine. So the Hatchetman is going to make its way over this way. And we're going to start pot-shotting at this Ifrit. Unfortunately, it's got 8 evasive. That is incredibly difficult to deal with.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Yeah, 0.9% chance there. Incredibly difficult to deal with that. So,
Good to go.
Our add AC-20 ammo is going to need to make its way up over this way. No, add AC-20 ammo. There you go. Out over this way.
On the move. Full speed.
We have to keep shooting at this. 11.7 and 2.2.
I'm on it.
Sad. This thing has to go. If it doesn't die, we're in big trouble. But it has so many evasive. The question is, how can we possibly
Yes,
deal with it?
Commander.
The Wolverine took a lot of internal and external damage there. But we have to fire on this with the Thumper Artillery in flak mode.
Taking the shot.
Okay. So it's got its AMS there. We got a little damage to him. The Jenner has to move out here and engage it. Sadly, we don't get close enough. So position there for now. They're shooting at the Jenner, no problem there. I'd much rather they shoot at the Jenner than the Wolverine right now. That's a Locust? Sure. Ow.
Not much armor left in that location.
Okay.
What do you need?
So the Madcap Mark II is going to need to head out over this direction as sprinty as it can, which isn't very sprinty. And we're going to pot shot at this Ifrit with our large laser and our UAC-2. We are not going to fire the LBX at this range. Absolutely not.
Attacking from position.
Okay, so that's a full-on miss.
Targeting systems janky.
And they're going to keep shooting at the Jenner. I like this. This is great. The question is, what can we possibly do to that Ifrit?
If you say so.
We can try to tag it here,
Locking in target.
and we do not succeed. I'm not shocked about that. But maybe it gets fewer evasive next round, and maybe it does something dumb here. That's kind of what we're hoping for. That's a hammer. Not too scary there. The Avatar moves up and fires on the Wolverine indirect. Gets a decent amount of hits there.
Good to go.
But we just have no real way to respond to this Ifrit right now. 0.9% hit odds here. But we have to take it. We have to try.
Damn it.
Okay. Yeah, we barely did any damage with our flak gun either. Well, phase 19 is where he rolled. So let's see what he does here. The Jenner's going to move out first. And then the Ifrit will move next phase. I'm hoping he just chooses not to move or something. Oh, and a Nidhogg?
Critical hit.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
There's a
Not much armor
Nidhogg
left
too.
in that location.
Wow.
My armor's getting ripped off.
RogueTech hates me. Okay. So the Ifrit didn't fire there.
Oh, that really hurts.
Okay. Luckily, we haven't lost our Thumper Artillery.
Ready for orders.
The Jenner's going to move out over this way, I think. But man, with two heavy bombers... How do we do this?
Understood. Moving fast.
I'm not sure that there's a win condition here either. They just have so much evasive that we can't feasibly hit them, and they can kill us extremely quickly.
I'm healed.
Okay. So, I mean, our Commando has to move out over here.
Alright.
We have to try to kill this Nidhogg. Or rather, the Ifrit first. Then the Nidhogg after. So, we're going to move our tag to the top. Hopefully we manage to tag the Ifrit. That would make things a lot easier. We did not. Okay.
Orders.
So our hatchman is in substantial danger here. We're going to fire on the Ifrit here.
Firing.
And yeah, we don't hit here. The odds are extremely low, right? So that's fine.
Yes, Commander.
The hatchman is going to move up. Can you hit the main target and leave the rest? The main target is all the way out over here. The thing about that is, by the time we get there, these heavy bombers will have destroyed us. Like, we don't have time to go all the way up over here. The heavy bombers are fast, and they hit hard. It's bad luck that it rolled these on a 2-skull difficulty. 2 heavy bombers on a 2-skull. And a heavy mech. There's a heavy over here, too. So I'm just wondering, what exactly is our win condition here? Our win condition is... Because realistically, we can maybe get lucky shots and take out this cicada. But if we do, we're going to have to get to the evac point. And if I had to bet, the evac point would be like right here. Maybe like up here. And we're probably not going to get there. We can try to hit the cicada, but if we miss on like 10% hit odds, these guys are just going to tear us apart. Of course, if we miss these guys on 10% hit odds, they're going to tear us apart too. We can try it. The question is, where is our evac point going to generate at? We don't know that right now, and if we knew, it would be a lot easier of a decision. Which is something I've always kind of disagreed with RogueTech on. We should know where our evac point is going to be before the mission starts, in my opinion. Okay, so that hammer moves up. The hammer isn't threatening.
Aye, aye.
The Mad Cat Mark II can position out over here.
Let's move.
The Wolverine is basically going to have to be ejected at this point. We absolutely don't want to lose that thumper artillery. That would be a huge pain point for us. We can try to snipe the cicada. Yeah, we don't hit it. I'm not shocked about that.
Negative damage.
I just don't think that there's a win condition here. And I don't think there ever was.
Losing lots of armor.
Because the main problem is 2 heavy bombers, right? We have no tools to deal with that. Basically none. The only tool that we have is our thumper artillery in the Wolverine here. And the Wolverine is basically dead from the first salvo. Like, if we were to move out here and fight them, 26.4%, 26.4%, and then the Wolverine just dies on the next round. So we have to eject the Wolverine here. Now, there's basically nothing in this other than a medium laser, so we don't lose anything from that.
Ejecting.
So the Wolverine's out of here. But I don't think there ever was any way to do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense that a squad would go into battle without knowing the evac point. Yeah, exactly. That's why I say that they need to show us the evac point, like, at the start of the battle, rather than having it show up later on. Because I have no idea where the evac point is going to be, but I'm guessing it's going to be up here. So they're shooting at the Jenner here. That's not a problem, really, although they got a lot of hits there, but the Jenner's okay for the moment. The real problem here is the Nidhogg at this point. Well, both heavy bombers are the real problem. We don't really have a good way to snipe this cicada. It's on 5 evasive, and it's a long ways away. The Ifrit backs off. That's interesting. That's a very strange move. I'm not sure what it's planning to do there. But what's this Nidhogg gonna do? Okay. It hits the hatchetman there.
Reporting major armor lock.
I can't take much
I feel
more
like
of this.
that's quasi-okay.
Reporting. Heavy damage.
It does still have more of those missiles left,
Receiving you.
which is unfortunate. What's this evasive at? 5? Sure. We're going to move up to here. The AT-AC-20 ammo can't hit anything
Move
from
order
here.
received.
So we're going to brace. We can try to send our lights up over this way and eliminate the target and just see where that evac point is. But my bet is it's going to be somewhere very useless. That's generally the case. Okay.
Right here.
So we're going to take the Commando and start heading off this direction. Start trying to catch up to the Cicada over here.
Affirmative.
That hammer moves in. That's not a big problem. Hitting something over
Damage
here.
looks
Okay.
light, Commander.
Not sure what's going on there. Okay, that Cicada just walked towards us there, I think.
Waiting for
Imagine
orders.
if we had a thumper artillery. Imagine if our thumper artillery didn't get removed from the battlefield on
Roger
round
that,
1.
going to full throttle.
Okay, so we're going to fire on this Cicada here. Only a 12% hit chance. Okay. We're trying to hide a bit from the Nidhogg at this point. I don't know what the Ifrit's doing back over here. It did use a lot of its firepower on the Wolverine right out of the gate. Okay.
Reporting light damage. Standing by.
Let's take the Jenner up over here. And we're also going to continue chasing down the Cicada with the Jenner. We don't have too much for long-range weaponry at this time. The Hatchman is going to move up to here,
Heading out.
and we can choose to fire on the Cicada with 8% hit odds or on the Nidhogg with 10%. Well, neither one's going to really do much. I'm actually just going to brace here. Because if the Nidhogg hits the Hatchman again, we're going to want that damage reduction. Okay, that Avatar moves up, goes for the Jenner again. Gets a good number of hits again, sad. 3 evasive pips and indirect fire, but he's hitting a lot of those.
Standing by.
The Madcap Mark II is going to position here.
Roger.
18% odds.
Okay, I'm on it.
Sad. We've done basically no damage at this point. And it's round 5. Gotta love it. Okay. No damage to our Jenner there. That's fine. We're definitely not going to try to fight this. That's for sure. They're just kind of running around over here for the time being. That's okay. The Nidhogg is going to move here, and the Ifrit will as well very soon. My question is, are they backing both of them off? Yes, actually. This is the Ifrit here. The Nidhogg went over to here. So that's not exactly backed off. The Ifrit moved all the way back over here. Now that's interesting. That opens a window for us to actually do something here. Okay. Heat onto the Jenner is irrelevant right now. I don't care about that. That's no problem. There's that Avatar moving up, continuing to fire on the Jenner. A little bit of damage there, but nothing too major. There's just so many of them. Okay. one more missile hit on the Jenner there. If we can hit the Cicada with something, it doesn't really matter what. It kind of dies. It has very little armor. Oh, it just moved up over here. That's very good for us. It has 5 evasive, fairly standard.
Go.
We can move our add AC-20 ammo up over here, and we can try to pot shot this. No hits. Okay. Odds are getting slightly better,
No choice.
but we're having some real bad rolls here. Okay.
Waiting for orders.
So the Hatchman is going to move up over this way,
On it.
and we're continuing to roll this. We're going to hit something eventually,
All weapons are go.
but it is not this firing. Okay. We definitely don't want to try to clear out these forces. That's for sure. That is not something we want to do. Okay. At least not unless we get some really, really good change in our luck here. But this is what I'm saying, where it feels like once you get bad luck on a mission, it just stays. You always have that bad luck. It's kind of weird. It just feels like it determines that based on... yeah, that's a Purifier, Cyclone, Firestarter, and Hammer up here. Yeah. It just determines that based on a roll at the beginning of the mission, it feels like. Okay.
Standing by.
So the Commando is going to close in as much as it can up over here.
Roger that.
We're starting to get decent odds.
Copy.
No hits on the Cicada. Okay.
Bad luck.
Next up is the Hatchman, I
Ready.
think. Yes. 8.1%.
Acknowledged.
Okay.
Damn it.
Not super shocking there.
Aye aye.
Our Madcap Mark II is going to position over here. Once again, we're starting to get decent odds here. I'm going to fire the LBX, but I'm going to regret it as soon as I do. I regret it. Man.
Oh crap. Missed.
How many 25% rolls in a row can we miss, is the question. The answer is apparently all of them. Okay, so the Jenner is running off over this way. Let's see what the Nidhogg does here. This is the danger point. Nothing. It does literally nothing. Okay. We're going to move the Jenner up to here.
Shooting. Just running.
Only 4% hit odds on the Cicada at this point. Sad. But we'll try it.
Taking a shot.
Yeah. Not shocking.
Negative damage.
Okay. This is starting to become farcical. The Locust moves up. It does miss us as well. So that's at least good turnabout there. It has 2 evasive. We might be able to eliminate it fairly quickly. But the real question is, and like, here's the thing, right? If I knew where the evac point was going to be, I may have already withdrawn from this. If I knew that the evac point was going to be like right where this Ifrit is right now, like right up here, I would have withdrawn. So the question is, where exactly is it? And that delays our withdrawal by a lot, because withdrawal takes 5 rounds. So that's a very big delay. But if it's going to be, you know, like over here, then maybe I would have not withdrawn. I don't know. Well, he managed to hit us with 3 attacks. There. Hopefully that means that we can actually hit the Cicada now. 5 evasive still, but we're getting very close. There's a Cyclone over there firing on our Hatchman.
under
But yeah,
85.
if I could make one change to RogueTech, that would be what it is. I would want to know where our evac point is at the beginning of the mission, because that completely changes how you approach it. Okay, they're doing some damage to the Mad Cat. That's fine.
Right here.
Okay, so the Commando is going to come up over this way. We're definitely going to hit the cicada here.
Got it.
Hey, we finally managed to tag it. Okay, so the cicada is tagged. Maybe now we can do some actual damage to it. Maybe. The hammer moves up, goes for our hatchetman. Put some extra heat in there. That's kind of whatever. Not sure why it decided to look here for that, but okay.
Commander.
So our hatchetman can position, like, up over here. I don't
Heading
love
out.
it, but we could position here and go for the locust. We'd have to not fire this medium pulse laser, I think. Yes. Oh, and we missed on 60-some% there. That snub nose almost certainly would have killed that locust.
Heat damage. Damn it.
Sad. Well, we'll take up the add AC-20 ammo, and we'll position that maybe here? I don't love this positioning,
All right, full speed.
but we'll try it. In before stray shots.
Here it comes.
I think we did stray shot 1.
Adjusting targeting.
I'm not sure if we stray shot our hatchetman or not there, but I think we did.
Commander.
So our other hatchetman is going to make its way up over here. There's only so much it can do.
Full speed.
Okay.
Standing by.
And now our Mad Cat is going to try to move up, but it's very slow. At least in that terrain. Okay. So let's see what they do from here. The Nidhogg moves now. This is the danger point. It just leaves. Okay. So they definitely could have wiped us up by now, if I'm honest. They're choosing not to, which is very strange. The Ifrit comes in and goes for the hatchman. This is going to hurt.
My neck is coming apart around me.
Okay. So the hatchman will need, of course, to be ejected pretty soon. Okay. Hopefully we can hit that cicada at some point.
Systems. Holding.
When does it move? Phase 21? So it moves before we do. That's, again, unfortunate on the rolls. The Locust moves in here and does... Well, it attacks our Hatchman. Fair enough. That Hatchman is in a lot of danger right now. And we just have no real way to deal with these heavy bombers. Like, we don't have any weaponry that can deal with them. Not supposed to run into them at this stage of the game. That's for sure. Certainly not two of them. Oh. Well, thanks for the mines. I guess that's something. Okay. So, at this point,
Commander.
our Jenner can position up over here. This is a rear arc on the Cicada. So if we manage to hit this, we're going to do a lot of damage, but we're probably not going to hit.
Roger.
There's a structure exposure. Okay. In the leg. Not ideal, but it's fine, I guess. Okay, that hammer moves up. They're going to keep focusing this Hatchetman at this point. The Hatchetman obviously needs to be ejected. There's nothing else we can do about it.
Waiting for
Our add AC-20 ammo, though, can come in here and go for a side arc attack on this Locust. I'm not going to fire the AC-5. But we're otherwise going to do this and do some damage to them.
engaging.
There we go. Good damage to the Locust. We'll call that good.
Target's taken a critical hit.
So at least we finally dealt a little damage in round 8. Wonderful. That avatar is going to keep hitting that hatchet. And we need to eject it, but we can't yet.
Critical hit.
Behemoth, you should just eject. Actually, we can right now.
Standing by.
So, there we go.
Punching out.
That hatchman is out of here. Okay.
Standing by.
So, the Commando is definitely going to look to also hit the rear arc of this cicada.
Moving full speed.
We could theoretically kill it here, but we probably won't,
Target.
with the luck we've been
Alpha
having.
strike.
Yeah, absolutely not. Cool. So where's the evac point? That is the question now. That javelin isn't scary. Like, the only things that are scary here is the Ifrit and the Nidhogg, but we just have no way to deal with them. They have too much damage and too much speed. We can't keep up with them, and we can't hit them.
Orders.
So our hatchman here is going to come in and hit the rear arc of this Locust. It should be pretty free, in all honesty. But it's exposing its own rear arc to the Ifrit, so problems could ensue. But what are we going to do?
Target's taking a critical hit.
Surprisingly, that Locust survived 2 melees from a medium.
I'm generating a lot of heat, Commander.
Okay, so it gets knocked down,
This heat is frying my internals.
and the Magcat Mark II can walk in over here and finish the job.
Understood.
I don't think I'm going to bother firing the LBX. That's pretty unnecessary.
Confirmed.
There we go.
Target
One down.
destroyed.
Ridiculous.
Our target is making a break.
Oh, of course they're running. Of course they're running. So where is the escape point? Denial zone of here? Yep. That's going to be interesting. I'd like it if they'd run down over here, though. That would be nice. And they probably will.
Damn it! I took one in the meat.
Through armor missiles on the Magcat, too. Okay. They just have all the equipment. Exciting. So phase 24. That's going to be the Nidhogg, which is leaving for now. So that's good. Phase 20, what are they going to have? Hammer moves up, goes for the hatchman. Adds additional heat because, you know,
Losing
why
armor.
not?
My heat sinks can't vent fast enough.
Cool.
I'm taking damage.
And starts a fire under us. Excellent. Oh, this is not my day. That's for sure. At least they missed their PPC there. That's something. Okay. The Avatar rear arc attacking our AD-AC-20 ammo. That's okay for the moment. So the question is, where's the evac point? Right? And that's been the question this whole time.
Lot damage, holding firm.
The good news is, if we decide to eject everybody, we'll take almost no damage from that because we have basically nothing in our cockpits as it is. That Maxim APC comes up and goes for the rear arc on the Clint as well. That's a lot. Destroys an ER medium laser bright bloom. That's a little bit tough to replace.
Ready for orders.
Okay. I'm going to reserve here. I want to allow the cicada to move here. Cool. So I think withdrawal is definitely out at this point. We're definitely not going to withdraw. We're going to see where the evac point is. We have to turn our hatchman around here, but he's way too hot, so we need to brace him. And he fails his shutdown override. Of course he does. Oh boy. Okay. So the AD-AC-20 ammo is going to need to turn around here as well.
Affirmative.
And we're running too hot here too.
Starting to cook.
There we go.
I'm taking heat damage.
So our Commando at this point can move in and hit the cicada rear arc. I don't want to charge it, but we're going to move into here.
Moving to position.
And let's hit this rear arc. We'll get a tag on there and finish off the cicada. No destruction there,
Critical hits, Commander.
but a decent amount of internal damage. Not where we needed it, though. The javelin moves up and goes for the hatchman, which is, of course, shut down right now. So we don't really have a response to that at the moment.
I'm here.
Our Madcat Mark II will advance up over this way.
Acknowledged.
Hit odds across the board are not great. Wait, what was that? 16? Okay. 31 on the Ifrit. We can try it, but we're way too hot again. They have a bunch of heat increasers.
Commander.
So our Jenner needs to walk in over this way and hit the rear arc of the cicada. We could kill it here, but we probably won't with the RNG we've been having in this mission. Just kind of generally today. Not doing well in the RNG.
I think I hit something good.
So, I mean, there's some damage, but it doesn't get a kill. So we still don't know where our evac point is going to be. Going into round 10. 7 HP left in that CT. Sad. Okay, so that Jenner kind of withdraws a bit. The Nidhogg moves away. That's nice, but the Ifrit is still chilling here. So the question is... Okay, the Ifrit moves back and goes for the Hatchman. So the Hatchman dies here.
Blue team, unit down.
Okay. That's going to be tough. But, I mean, what are we going to do about it? We're just having the worst mission generation. And on top of it, we can't hit things. So, I mean, sometimes RNG be that way. Cool. So a little bit of damage to our Magcat is irrelevant. I honestly should have ejected the Hatchman last round. The Jenner's going to come in here and finish off the cicada. I don't believe the cicada survives this. Watch us miss everything. Missed the melee.
Missed.
Okay, we did finish off the cicada. Of course it core meltdowned.
Target eliminated. I'll watch my... Over the red line.
Of course it core meltdowned.
Shutting down. My heat gauge is
Oh
dead.
boy. Okay, so where's the evac zone? We now know. Really? Here is where the evac zone is.
Orders.
Okay. We're out of here.
Roger that. I'm punching out.
Ridiculous.
Ow.
Absolutely ridiculous. So they're going to shoot at the Jenner a lot, and they might kill the Jenner before we get a chance to
I
eject.
can't take much more of this.
Go ahead and eject, Mongrel, please.
This heat
Just
is
eject.
cooking my internal structure.
Yeah, I'm aware. Just eject. You'll be fine. So realistically, assuming that we manage to eject our Jenner here,
Reporting internal damage.
we didn't take all that much damage. We completed our primary objective, but it's still going to count this as a failure. Unfortunately. Okay. That damage into the Jenner is irrelevant. We don't care about that.
Standing by.
We're ejecting the Magcat here. There's nothing in any of these cockpits at this point that we're going to end up losing. So we're just
We lost the
saving
mech.
our mechs here. There's absolutely no way that we make it through all of the enemies to the evac zone that's literally on the other side. So our Jenner is the only unit left. And it's phase 14 that it rolled its initiative. There's that heavy bomber firing. So far, it's okay. But yeah, this is phase 23. The Ifrit moves up. The Jenner may die here. Oh yeah, it's totally dead.
Oh,
Right?
damn it. I'm wounded.
Okay. Panicked and pilot ejected. Good. Time to make a withdrawal. Yes. That was
Mission failed.
a lot. putting an evac zone behind the enemy lines. Stalin would do that. Yeah. I figured it would be somewhere back there. Honestly, that's the way it usually goes. So, we really didn't need that right now. That's for sure. The Jenner didn't take as much damage as it might have, but losing those heavy lasers does hurt. We can definitely rework the Jenner, and we'll see if that Hatchetman survived. If not, it's not the end of the world. But most of our other mechs will be okay. So that won't be too bad. But yikes. Been having some real bad luck this session. No doubt about that. Okay, let's go here. No salvage. It counts it as a failure even though we completed the primary objective, which I don't like. I wish that it counted that as a success as well. But yeah, they need to tell us where our evac zone is going to be, because I would have hit the withdrawal button on round 1 when our Wolverine got pounded by the Ifrit like that on round 1. I would have hit the withdrawal button right then. And we would have been out of there far earlier and taken less damage if I had known where the evac zone was. So, I definitely think that that's something that they should change if that's at all possible. But as it is, here we are. So let's get this set back up to go back out again. Let's get everything repaired, but I don't think I'm going to deploy again today. The luck is not on my side. Yeah, the Hatchetman is gone. That's okay. I don't mind losing the Hatchetman there, but the luck is definitely not with us today. So I think we're just going to get repairs done and call it a day. So let's go ahead and... Yeah, this is actually fine. So we're going to have a financial report in 3 days. We need more funds. So we're going to have to hop into the mech bay and hop into our storage. Let's get rid of this Rhino Fist. That'll get us a little bit of money. What else do we have here? Scorpion LTs. Let's get rid of those. Beagle Hover Scouts. Let's get rid of that. And I'm also going to hop into navigation here. And we're going to travel to somewhere that's like back down to being a half skull. The planet we're on right now is a 3 skull, and that's clearly a little bit too much for us. So I think that we should back off to like a 1 skull or something like that. Devil's Rock here. Yeah, let's do it. So we're going to travel over there. That's going to take us a little bit of time to get there, and we'll tick forward. We'll go past this financial report.
Financial report.
There we go. Cool. And we will continue to tick on forward here. So we're going to get our storage space upgrade done in a few days, but we're definitely not going to queue up another one. That's for sure. We've got a lot of repairs to work on. So let's jump drive on over. Cool. Okay. We will hop into the mech bay here. I think we should have some mechs ready to be refit. Yes. So we'll refit the Commando here. And we did lose our sheathed beacon, which is unfortunate. But otherwise, this should be reasonably fine. I believe we can even replace... we can put clan sensors in there, I suppose. That'll be fine, but losing the sheath beacon is rough, but we did already have the stealth armor, so I think it'll be okay. The Clint... Is that going to take anything more than just replacing the cockpit, which was... Yeah, we need this ER medium laser. Right. We don't have a bright bloom to replace it with, but we can replace it with just a standard ER medium laser. No problem there. So the Clint is good to go.
Logged and noted.
Okay, let's continue to tick forward here.
Those upgrades
Cool.
you asked for?
So there's our storage space done. That'll save us some cash. The Wolverine will be done in 2 days here.
Arrives at our destination,
We will
Commander.
continue. We don't really care too much about Devil's Rock. Okay. So the Wolverine is now done. We'll hop into the mech bay.
Welcome to the grease pit, Commander.
And let's get this Wolverine refit. Cool. So we lost our LRM-15. That's tough. We can't really replace that, but it's okay for the moment. 3 heat sinks is tough too. We do have exactly 3 heat sinks. Well, that's convenient. Okay. We've got 8 tons remaining here. LRM-15 is 7 tons, and... where was the extra ton at? Oh, the medium laser in the head. Right. Okay, so the medium laser goes here, and then the question is, what are we going to spend these 7 tons on? I mean, we could put in an LRM-5. That's 2 tons. I mean, we can definitely bump up our armor there. We've not run out of thumper ammo, so that's not an issue, and we don't have any additional thumper ammo anyway, so that's not going to be a problem for the time being. I think our only option is to really put in the LRM-5 at this point, and we just have 5 tons. We could upgrade the medium laser in the head to an ER medium laser, or an ER large laser, rather. The heat is going to be garbage, but it's okay, I guess. I'm going to go buy a couple additional heat sinks if there are any available in this store. Let's go see. Because we can make a few optimizations to that. What do we got here? Yes, heat sinks. Cool. I'm going to buy 6.
New equipment
Okay.
available.
That was the barracks. I want to go back into the mech bay, and I think we have some decent decisions here on our Wolverine. Not necessarily great, but decent. So, we hit this repair all button. We max out this armor. We drop 1 ton of LRM ammo because that's not necessary if we're just going to run an LRM-5. That's definitely unnecessary. We're going to mount an ER large laser clan in the cockpit. This is a terrible idea, but we'll do it anyway. And now we need roughly 1 trillion heat sinks over here. Cool. Like I said, this is a pretty terrible idea, but something like that would do the trick. Our heat efficiency is in the toilet, but we can like alternate our thumper and our ER large if we're firing that or something. Let's go ahead and get that going. I don't love it. It's pretty bad, if I'm honest, but given what we have to work with, it'll do. So, our Jenner is next. Oof. Losing 2 clan double heat sinks definitely hurts. Okay, so we have to drop the clan heatsink kit. We're going to need standard heat sinks here and here. And then all we can do really is drop this improved heavy laser. The heat is just too high. And we can run a medium laser diverse optics and a medium laser over here. And that's all we can do. It's unfortunate. It's a big downgrade. But there we go. We're going to have to work our way back up a little bit. Having the Magcat Mark II, though,
I'll let you know when that's done.
that'll be a lot easier. So we're going to tick forward a little bit here more. We need to get these repairs done. And it'll be 12 days before the financial report. The question is, can we get these repairs done before the financial report comes in? Okay. Let's go. We've got it. We've got them all done. Okay. Fantastic. 2 days until the financial report. Now is the time when we would have to deploy. But like I said, this is not my day. So I think we're going to come back to this another day when hopefully our luck is a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here for today, and we'll be back to this in the future. and we'll try to dig ourselves out of this. But now that we're in a location where we are slightly better off in terms of difficulty here, it should be fine. I don't think we're going to have any major issues. We can do some of these half skulls and just breeze through them and make our money back that way, and start building up some of our weapon systems again. I think that'll be great. But for now, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this stream possible, including Casserole, JJ Gamer, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, Atala, Jensgram, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and I will see you all next time, where hopefully we'll have slightly better rolls. That would be great. I wouldn't really change anything that we did today, by and large. I stand by the decisions. It just didn't play out, and that's okay. See you all next time.